The top rank in the world, the highest level character across the entire server. The top arena battle points in the most famous game in the world, Arena of Legends, has set unprecedented records. None other than Hyunyu, known by the nickname Maligo, has decided to permanently leave this virtual world to focus on reality, even deleting his game account when his best friend, Yang Chan, questioned him about it. Hyunyu boldly declared that games are just for entertainment, not a place to sell one's life for money. Now he has decided to fulfill his military service and inherit his father's business, but life is unpredictable. 2 years later, his family's company has gradually declined, and on the day Hyunyu turned 25, it went bankrupt. His father is bedridden, drowning in debt, and the once super-rich heir of the Damsu Corporation is now facing a crisis. Now he has to work part-time at a convenience store for $9 an hour, often filling his stomach with near-expired meals from the store. As everything falls into hardship, Hyunyu has cut off contact with his best friend. However, he is still eager to help, and Yang Chan suggested returning to Arena. The profits from this game could easily earn him 6 figures, and this idea shone a light in the darkness of his life. So Hyunyu decided to return. First, he had to go to the mall to buy a game capsule, but when he saw the price, he couldn't help but feel disappointed. Hyunyu began to ponder, unsure of what to do. In the end, he reluctantly took money from his own pocket to buy it. Just then, Hanbik, accompanied by a woman, mocked him. That woman was the daughter of his father's colleague, ignoring Hanbik's hurtful words. Hyunyu walked away, but Hanbik foolishly revealed a shocking truth. Hyunyu's family's downfall was caused by his father leaving him in disbelief. Immediately after, Hanbik cursed Hyunyu's father for dying in bed, which Hyunyu couldn't accept. He swung his fist and punched Hanbik right in the mouth, and bodyguards from everywhere rushed in to intervene. Hyunyu was furious, continuously berating him. This grudge was etched deep in his heart. As he left the convenience store, the heavy rain mirrored his feelings, and he walked on through the pouring rain. Hyunyu's face darkened as he thought about the reasons behind everything. He couldn't understand why Hanbik, who caused all this, dared to come and mock him. Therefore, Hyunyu resolved to take revenge. Tears fell mingling with the rain, making his heart feel heavy with helplessness. Suddenly, news on the TV about streamer salaries in Arena reminded him once again. Hyunyu stood there deep in thought for a long time. Then he set aside his pride and called his best friend Yang Chan for help. Yang Chan was very worried and kept asking about Hyunyu's situation. Then he gathered all his courage to express his feelings. I want to return to Arena. After logging into the game, the management team was surprised. They panicked once again. The name Maligo, although the head of the department didn't care, the game manager was a bit curious, so she wanted to get Hyunyu's status update. Quickly reporting all the information about his test in an instant, Hyunyu set a new record on the magical testing device. At this moment, he was extremely excited and wanted to continue testing, fully determined to return to being a champion. Once again, Yang Chan generously stood in front of his game capsule, offering it to Hyunyu. Feeling a bit guilty, Hyunyu turned to apologize, saying, I'm sorry, Yang Chan. I know I don't have the right to say this, but I promise to repay you later. Hearing that, Yang Chan immediately slapped him on the back, scolding him. What do you mean it's been so long since we met? Yang Chan tightened his grip and smiled, reminding his mischievous friend, you better not cut off contact with me again. So, Hyunyu successfully logged into the game. He tried swinging a sword, and Hyunyu seriously commanded, and let's go? She nervously replied, the level 10 test is as you wish, as the game's light shone on his face once more. Hyunyu felt a bit anxious and sighed. It's been a long time since I last fought at Arena. Looking at the Dark Elf warrior in front of him, the space became quiet. He nervously thought, so this is my opponent, the Dark Elf warrior. At that moment, Hyunyu closed his eyes and sighed. The first battle isn't too bad. But he shouldn't get too excited. He needed to stabilize his breathing. And saw this and became very worried, shouting, he's attacking you. The Dark Elf charged at him with a sharp dagger, yelling, your mistake is daring to close your eyes against me, human. Hyunyu easily dodged to the side and countered, that's a mistake. I don't think so, Hyunyu replied. And witnessing this scene, couldn't help but panic, shouting, a level 1 character can withstand an attack from a Dark Elf warrior. At this moment, his sword was still smoking. Hyunyu breathed a sigh of relief. It had been a long time. Since the time he had to fight above his level, luckily, he was still okay. The reason he reached the top rank in the Maligo server was that no one could match him in controlling the level distance. A series of Dark Elf warriors were defeated, helplessly shouting, humans. They continuously reminded themselves, we must be faster and stronger. Looking at him, they couldn't help but feel furious at this human who was so nimble. His attacks became increasingly lethal as he returned to the real world. Yang Chan helplessly sighed, realizing what had happened to his friends. The days ahead would be much tougher, so just come stay with me, okay? Those favors will come in handy. Despair and hatred filled him as he had just dealt a finishing blow to the Dark Elf warrior. Swinging his sword, he affirmed that he would retaliate against all of it, and to do that, he would return to his golden age. With a speed no one could anticipate in the game manager's office, after observing everything, she suddenly stood up, flustered, sweating, muttering about a newly created level 1 character that had just defeated a warrior. A level 10 Dark Elf was indeed unbelievable. But in the end, legends remain legends, right? Maligo stood behind him, shouting congratulations as the exam would end here. So Hyunyu had started the game. Dell was the first to greet him. "Oh, you're a visitor here. I am Del, the village chief of Aslan." He handed Hyunyu a surprise box introducing, "Nice to meet you, Kang Hyunyu. This is the reward for the exam inside a ring containing the spirit of the Titan. It can help players harness power." The will of the legendary Titan increases certain stats. Hyunyu was overjoyed to put it on, cheering for a rare item that surpassed level 10 combat. It was truly a fruitful start. At that moment, Yang Chan also messaged to check in. "Did you complete the exam?" Hyunyu exclaimed in surprise. "Yang Chan-e," he continued texting. "I'll pick you up at the east gate. I'll be your carriage driver." Aslan waved goodbye with a smile from behind. "See you later." Hyunyu hesitated to refuse. "I need to create this item first." He then asked curiously, "Item?" "Just wait and you'll see." Yang Chan felt a bit more reassured upon hearing that. "You just started the game and you've already planned everything." Shortly after, Hyunyu messaged again. "Hey, can I borrow 50 gold? I forgot to process it, I'm broke." He was puzzled, repeating 50 gold. There used to be an item that all veteran players used, which was the experience potion. A common item that could increase the experience gained by 20% for 4 hours. The experience potion, priced at a mere 3,000 gold, was incredibly valuable. But the supplier suddenly disappeared and that potion faded into obscurity. Or so people thought, because I am the supplier. Hyunyu proudly smiled. "I'm the only one who still knows how to create the experience potion. If I auction it, I could raise the price sky high." But then he looked at his item list and felt a bit disappointed. "But the materials just won't drop. I can't do anything about it. Guess I'll have to go to the dungeon to find them." The next issue made Hyunyu even more annoyed. Someone blocked his path, saying he couldn't enter. Junyu confidently placed his sword on his shoulder, setting down the sign that marked the guild's territory, and asserting that this dungeon belonged to the Black Tower. "And it's not a place for those clueless newbies." Hyunyu stood in front of him, gritting his teeth, thinking that this dungeon was the only place he could find the last materials. "Who do you think you are?" he calmly reminded him. "You'd better step aside while I'm still in a good mood." Yet he didn't get the hint, and with a harsh tone, Junyu said, "Hey newbie, I'll let this slide this time, so just shut up and walk away." Hyunyu, a bit impatient, pushed Junyu aside and shouted, "Get out of the way, I'm in a hurry." Immediately he swung his sword at him. Junyu arrogantly repeated, "Hey newbie, didn't you hear what I said? Get lost." Hyunyu was furious, slowly turning around, mumbling "newbie." He grabbed the blade of Junu's sword and spoke, "My life depends on this game. I don't want to waste a single second." Hyunyu's eyes were filled with determination as he challenged, "Do you dare to bet your character against a newbie like me? You're not just a chicken that can only crow right." To clarify, betting your character means whoever loses will have their character erased. But since no player has accepted that risk, it has ceased to exist. Junyu, hearing this, became even angrier, gritting his teeth and hissing each word. "I accept, you bastard. You'll soon have to reset your character, newbie." "Crowing, huh? What do you even eat?" Hyunyu thought to himself. But from now on, the character deletion bet would be revived. The system announced that player Kang Hyun-yu had set the rules for the game winner takes all loser deletes their character. "Accept or decline." Immediately, Junyu responded. The system recorded that player Park Junyu had accepted the match. He loudly reminded, "There's no turning back now." The countdown began. 5, 4. Hyunyu raised his hand to summon his sword, affirming that he would take him down in 5 minutes. "Say goodbye to your character." This made Junyu furious, shouting, "What the hell, shut up." The system continued the countdown. 3, 2. Hyunyu continued to taunt, "Don't panic, because you'll never get a chance to fight me a second time. Just consider this a lesson." The final countdown sounded, and the system announced, "The match begins." Junyu silently glanced at him, responding, "I'll keep my eyes on you." "How much longer can you keep bragging like that?" Right after that, Hyunyu lunged straight at him, while Junyu showed nothing but disdain. He smugly said, "With your reflexes like a chicken, you think you can catch me. Dream on." Hyunyu leaned to the side, just in time to block his opponent's sword. Junyu was internally shocked, unable to comprehend. There's no way my level is lower than his. He possessed unique equipment, and he was stunned, realizing that a rookie like him was surprisingly calm. Could it be that Junyu thought Smap is going to wipe him out? While Hyunyu quietly thought it was too predictable, he was already panicking. He swiftly dodged the attack, countering the many openings this guy left. Hyunyu shot a cold, piercing gaze with his fiery red pupils at his opponent. "Huh." The guy was terrified and shouted, "You little rabbit!" At that moment, an idea sparked in Hyunyu's mind. "There's no way to shake off this pain," Hyunyu confidently thought. "The easier it is for me." The system displayed a note that Titan's power was activated and his strength stats would increase for a limited time. He unleashed a powerful counterattack. This sent Junyu staggering back, his face twisted in anger. "Damn it, I got taken down by a chicken." His eyes trembled, revealing an unmistakable fear. Junyu felt a deep sense of despair. Who the hell is this guy? Hyunyu decisively swung his hand forward, his cold voice cutting through the air. "Being distracted while in combat is not good. Then I'll send you off quickly." He was determined to withstand this blow. Junyu's eyes widened in horror and he broke out in a sweat. Hyunyu swung his sword horizontally across his body, standing with a serious expression and a calm tone. "If you don't feel pain, how will you know your body's condition?" A brilliant notification appeared. "Victory You just won a solo match. You will receive rewards based on the contract winner takes all. Hyunyu raised his hand to the sky, feeling incredibly relaxed. He had gathered a ton of items, and finally, he had the last crafting material. After the battle, Hyunyu arrived at the Aslan workshop in the crafting room where he was crafting tools and items for players. However, it couldn't compensate for the skills needed to complete the crafting. He sighed regretfully. It's a shame I can only use this once a month. Luckily, he remembered exactly how to craft it. He joyfully shouted, "Growth elixir completed." The system provided details about the item. Rapid growth elixir. An ancient elixir crafted using unique methods, it grants a 20% XP boost for 4 hours. Hyunyu held the vial excitedly. Now it's time to make some money. And so that day, on the exclusive trading floor of the arena market, a forgotten item appeared. The man exclaimed in astonishment, "What an XP potion is up for auction." Everyone focused intently on the auction. Only one vial of the potion was being auctioned, and everyone was participating to win it. Its value skyrocketed, resulting in... The price of the potion kept increasing exponentially. Last month, the highest price was only 3,000 gold, but now it had risen to 5,000 gold. Hyunyu crossed his arms, his voice thoughtful. 5,000 gold. Enough to cover my dad's medical bills. Living expenses were around 2,000 gold. 1 gold is equivalent to $1, so playing games is definitely more stable than selling my time 1,000 times over. He calculated in his head that to become a streamer or a professional player, he needed to level up and increase his combat power. First, he had to level up and get good gear. Hyunyu carefully thought about not wasting the remaining gold, deciding to buy the most practical equipment instead of flashy ones. A stream of information about the stats of each piece of equipment was displayed: shabby cloak, low-level pants, rat, leather pants, and a red chainsword. He exclaimed in amazement, "You've changed a lot since the last time." He asked, "Did you join the Church of God?" Hyunyu simply replied, "No." A girl passing by sighed, looking at that guy. She sarcastically remarked, "Look at him. He looks just like a mobile traffic light." Hyunyu felt annoyed inside. These idiots think practicality is much more important than appearance. "Don't you know," he said a bit hesitantly, "your pants match the season." "Are you okay?" He tried to stay calm and replied straightforwardly, "Just give me the mission." The pack of wolves showed their sharp teeth and glowing red eyes, growling threateningly. He stood firm among the wolves, sword resting on his shoulder, eyes focused. Hyunyu leaped into the air, delivering a powerful slash. He felt the change in his stats increase significantly. His body felt much lighter. Hyunyu assessed that indeed, you get what you pay for. He spoke with satisfaction. What a fashion disaster, but it's extremely effective. A system notification appeared below. Mission completed. Eliminate 15 lamlang. 15 and 15 lamlang fangs collected. Returning to hand over the items to receive his reward, he encouraged himself. "Come on, Kang Hyunwoo. Your life depends on this game. This isn't just for fun anymore. Time is money." Next up is the Goblin Dungeon. Today the goal is to reach level 10. Outside the dungeon, many players with diverse outfits and weapons were gathering. Hyunyu quietly assessed that, as expected, many people in the Goblin Dungeon were approaching him. A burly soldier in black armor came closer and greeted him, saying, "We're currently recruiting members for the main attack. I'm the main attacker here." "Can I join?" he asked, smiling. The soldier replied, "Of course," but suddenly hesitated. "Wait," he said, "I have to refuse. It seems you don't have any poison resistance gear. Find a newbie team. You can see our team is pretty strong." Hyunyu reacted sharply. "A newbie team?" He turned away, his voice dripping with arrogance. "Who do you think I am? Even without poison resistance gear, I can still dodge attacks from those who spit poison, you know." Suddenly, someone behind them spoke up. "Ah, so you have experience in conquering the Goblin Dungeon, right?" A girl, shyly speaking, added, "This is our first time tackling the Goblin Dungeon, so we're looking for someone with experience. If possible, could you join our team?" She looked up at him with hopeful eyes. "Is that okay?" Hyunyu confidently accepted, "Of course. I'll carry the team. Everything will be fine." He announced to his teammates, "Hey, I've found our last member." Hyunyu glanced at each person with a cold expression, but they remained cautious, not trusting him at all. The girl smiled brightly. "Why don't I introduce myself? I'm Choi, a level 20 priest." "I'll introduce myself too. I'm Hyunyu, a level 20 warrior." Hyunyu smiled, thinking to himself that the best feature of the arena system was the character information security. The three in the team took turns introducing themselves. He introduced himself first. "I'm Choi Jin-gu, a level 20 warrior, and this is Park Jong-min, a level 22 archer." Finally, she spoke up. "I'm Dia, a level 23 mage." Jinyu looked at him suspiciously. "But you don't have any poison resistance gear. Is that a problem?" Hyunyu replied confidently, "I trust my skills." The girl Chen interrupted their conversation. "Hey, why are you being rude to the new member?" "You don't trust me," Jinyu replied casually. "Well, you don't trust me either. I don't want to die because of your carelessness." "Yeah," she snapped back. "Just go die then." He quickly softened his tone. "We'll soon verify your strength." "Let's go in, shall we?" Inside the cave, 2 goblins with grey skin, glowing red eyes, and sharp teeth were waiting ready to attack as soon as everyone appeared. Jinyu warned his teammates, "Get ready, this is our first time tackling the dungeon." One goblin blew hard through a long tube, launching a poisoned arrow. Jinyu shouted urgently, "Protect me!" Dia spoke decisively. "Come here!" Cheonmin yelled. "Shoot!" Dia was not to be outdone, unleashing a magical arrow attack. Hyunyu quietly observed even though he seemed worried. This team has good synergy, he thought, feeling a bit confused about why they were still looking for more members. Oh well, it doesn't matter. As long as we level up, who cares? The goblins they defeated lay motionless on the ground, their bodies fading into blue cubes. Jinyu sighed in relief, his face drenched in sweat. We've been at it for an hour, right? Ria looked at him appreciatively. Hyunyu, I admit you're pretty good. Cheonyu nodded in agreement. Yeah, your sword skills are impressive. Did you use any special gear? Hyunyu confidently replied. I told you that's my skill. The girl, tired, squatted down. Let's take a break for a bit. Jinyu added, all right, let's rest a little. We need to be ready to face those goblins later. Hyunyu curiously asked, Goblin boss, has no one ever defeated it? Jinyu pondered before answering. Just me. You stand aside and think quietly. With a level 20 team like this, the goblin boss is quite tough. It's been a long time since I've... Let's take it down, Jinyu cautiously instructed each member. Be especially careful with your timing when shooting. Don't waste mana. He spoke sternly. Cheonmin, if you hit a teammate, I'll take you down. He spoke up. I won't make that mistake again. Yanyu internally doubted his teammate's abilities. So if I mess up, I'll get hit in the back. Confirming the target, Jeonmin placed his hand on the ground, feeling every small movement. He announced, it's right here. Jeonmin confirmed the target, the goblin boss. Jinyu began assigning tasks. You guys handle the minions. Meanwhile, Hyunyu and I will stall. The girl added, don't forget to buff. She confirmed, got it. Jinyu tightly gripped his sharp mace filled with determination. It's time to take down the final boss. The system displays a notification that you've received a blessing from the nun, increasing your strength and agility. The crowd roars, ordering the minions to attack Hyunyu and Jinyu in a synchronized manner. Supporting each other during the attacks while struggling against them, you suddenly hear the mumbling of the goblin kid reciting a magic spell. His hand glows purple as a stream of dark energy begins to gather. You shout a warning for Jinyu to dodge quickly. He raises his shield, but his body is pushed back, struggling against the force of the attack. Your heart races as you hear Jeonmin shout in panic, Hyunyu, feeling extremely anxious. The mutated goblin capable of using magic has revived. You're extremely tense. If it fires another dark sphere, it won't end well. We have to take it down before it can strike. Hyunyu calls for his teammates to support him. You urge the two of them. What are you doing? Hurry up and support. Both stutter in response. Yeah. Hyunyu silently scolds them, wondering why they're just standing there. Where did the teamwork go? The goblin opens its mouth wide, continuing to mumble the dark spell. You widen your eyes in horror as it begins to cast the dark sphere, sensing danger from behind. You glance back just in time to see an arrow narrowly grazing your sword. It embeds itself into your right eye, causing you to scream in pain. Hyunyu feels frustrated, thinking, why now at such a crucial moment? Jeonmin chimes in, sorry, feeling angry as if he's trying to take you down. Hyunyu is determined, prioritizing taking this one down first. Confidently, he thinks, a mere goblin can't take me down. He shouts for help, urging his teammates to assist him. What are you waiting for? Attack already. The two are startled and respond, yes. Dia quickly strikes, piercing through the goblin's chest, creating a charred hole. The system notification pops up. You have defeated the final boss. Dia joyfully exclaims, we took down the goblin. Jeonmin immediately retorts, no, it was just Hyunyu. You smile and say admiringly, Oppa, you're so cool. You feel helpless thinking about these clumsy kids. Jeonmin approaches you feeling a bit shy. Was that a mistake earlier? It was just a small mistake, right? A team member asks about the item. Another person chimes in, isn't Hyunyu the one who deserves all the credit? The items appear before you, a random pet egg, 5 silver coins, and a dark sphere spellbook. Hyunyu observes everyone suspiciously. They seem friendly on the surface, but he feels something's off. What if they ambush us? You ask, feeling confused. Hyunyu silently decides to just grab one and leave. He chooses, I just want this egg. Taking the spellbook won't do anything. Sumi tilts her head, asking, really? You wave goodbye to everyone. I still have things to do, so I'll head out first. Jeonmin excitedly says, let's go hunting together next time. You call out to him, can I have your Facebook? Hyunyu laughs heartily. Let's meet again next time. He turns and walks away from the dungeon. Who knows which of these guys might stab me in the back? Don't let your guard down. Hyunyu quietly walks through the sparsely populated street, satisfied as he looks at his status board. After all, he has reached level 10. He exclaims with satisfaction, finally. Hyunyu looks up at the tall tower before him. It might even be a way to level up. The tower is known as the career tower, where each floor corresponds to a job level that players can advance into. It's similar to a department store. For players who reach level 10, this tower is extremely important. What he holds in his hand is a random pet egg, which could hatch into a random type of pet. It could be a dragon or just a little puppy. After being infused with magic, the egg will hatch within an hour. He ponders and decides, all right, I'll look for a new job in the meantime. Khan crosses his arms and asks, so do you want to become a warrior? Hyunyu straightforwardly replies, yes, that's why I'm here. He thinks to himself that only after reaching the second level up does the job truly become important. The man laughs, heartily pleased. Clever, my friend. Khan seriously states, unlike those fools on the lower floors, I will directly decide if you have what it takes to become a warrior. He laughed heartily, his voice filled with clever satisfaction. My friend Khan takes things seriously. His tone is different from those silly fools down below. I'll personally decide if you have what it takes to become a warrior. After an exciting match, Hyunyu picked up the sword and signaled, let's get started, shall we? Khan confidently said, but he attacked first. He maintained his calm demeanor. Let's move. Hyunyu took the sword, smirking, I won't hold back. He charged forward to attack first. Khan easily blocked the powerful strike from him, amazed, and thinking to himself how fierce the swordplay was and how skillfully the guy wielded his sword. Khan was impressed by his abilities. Completely different from the other adventures he had what it took to become a warrior. The two swords clashed, creating a loud, fierce sound with energy radiating around them as they locked eyes. A fierce, killing intent radiated from Khan. He thought to himself, but after all, he was just an adventurer, without an official class. Suddenly, he unleashed a critical strike, raising his sword high with both hands, preparing to deliver the final blow. Lacking skills made defeating him impossible. Hyunyu slammed his hand down on the stone floor, lifting one leg high, aiming for Khan's sword-wielding hand. Hyunyu took advantage of his speed to execute a lightning-fast counterattack. His opponent couldn't react in time. He stared in shock as Hyunyu blocked his sword with a kick, smiling as he said, nice try. Wow, even a simple move like that is pretty effective, Khan thought, dazed. He was even relaxed enough to think of a counter while dodging. He didn't follow traditional sword techniques, but was extremely agile. He doubted, wondering if this was what they called innate talent. Khan announced, that's enough. You definitely meet the standards to become a warrior. Hyunyu felt a bit disappointed, thinking, I just got started. He sincerely declared, your skills are truly remarkable. I officially recognize you as a warrior. The system continued to update, successfully promoting him to a warrior, increasing his attack and physical stats by 10. Receiving the title of warrior recognized by Khan, he gained a new skill. Khan looked satisfied, thinking it wasn't bad to receive another title. He then threw something to him saying, if it were you, you'd definitely be able to handle this. Take this. The system announced a new quest. Khan instructed, once you're confident in your strength, go find the owner of that coin. The quest displayed was to meet the Knight of Kion, recommended by the class manager Khan. If you're confident in your strength, go find the Knight of Kion LeBron. The objective was to meet the Knight of Kion with a reward of LeBron's skill. Suddenly he remembered LeBron, the leader of a legion in the arena. He was also the mightiest knight of the Empire. Hyunyu felt excited. The reward was the skill of the strongest knight in the Empire. Khan still felt uncertain, wondering if recommending this guy was the right choice. He said urgently, time is money, so I'm off. See you. Hyunyu left feeling refreshed, thinking, is this quest because I met some special condition? He was really looking forward to it, but since it was a level E quest, he had to reach level 50 to complete it. The system reminded Hyunyu that his pet egg was about to hatch with only 1 minute and 5 seconds left. He suddenly remembered, oh, the egg. Hyunyu smiled, brightly, excitedly saying, I was so lucky yesterday. Who knows, it might hatch into a unique pet. He curiously observed, even though the odds of hatching a dragon were extremely low. The egg's interface began to hatch, and Hyunyu hoped loudly, here it comes. A dragon would appear, but the answer was a cute bear. Seeing him say nothing, the bear spoke, it seems you're speechless before my stunning beauty. Hyunyu bent down in surprise, asking, a pet that can talk? He casually replied, you don't know, I'm full of ambition. A talking pet, I've only heard rumors. I've never seen one before. So is my pet a unique one? It's also a rare type? Can I take it to perform tricks for money? He thought to himself that this would definitely rake in some cash. Tangi sat on his shoulder and commanded, from now on, I allow you to serve me. Human, he urged. Hey, human, what are you doing? Move. Hyunyu voiced his dissatisfaction, not understanding what was going on, but he was sure of one thing. He couldn't hold back anymore. The pet Tangi unexpectedly exclaimed, hey, as he angrily threw him to the ground. You need to be taught properly. Time passed, and Tangi, feeling wronged, shouted, how dare you abuse the air of the abusing island? This way you meet the standards to be my master. Hyunyu snapped at him, knowing well that this guy was just a nuisance. Shut up and give me that annoying pet. Tangi hugged his head, sadly sighing, stuck with a rude master. Hyunyu quietly assessed its abilities. It wasn't too bad. The screen displayed the pet status level 5 stuffed bear, title heir of Busing. He looked at the screen and boldly declared, I will call you Tanji. Hyunyu secretly explained it was short for Gomtanji. You excitedly shouted, Tanji, what a cool name. I love watching the owner demolish a wooden house for a feast. Hyunyu casually said, oh, sorry, I was just about to log out. Tanji complained, I just got here a few minutes ago. That guy, you're so annoying, blaming the owner for being so cruel. Hyunyu took off his hat and logged out of the game, letting out a sigh. I've been in here all day, he said. Ang-chan walked in from the door and asked, are you done? Did you make any good loot today? He replied, it's okay, I managed to get a job and a lousy pet. Ang-chan looked a bit surprised. You got a job already? Then we should get going, right? Hyunyu replied, confused, huh? He patiently explained, huh? Means to debut as a streamer? Of course. Hyunyu stared wide-eyed at Ang-chan. Streamer? Hyunyu sat in thought. I heard this job has been doing pretty well lately. Ang-chan reminded him, but you need to do one thing first. He curiously asked, what's that? Ang-chan smiled and made a request. Record every time you play. I'll use those clips to promote you. I'll post them on War Arena. Hyunyu forced a smile, looking a bit embarrassed. War Arena? It's easier said than done. Ang-chan confidently said, what are you worried about? I'll be your manager. He spoke firmly. If everyone knows that the former number one is starting to stream, they'll definitely flock to watch. Hyunyu chuckled lightly, questioning, why do you seem more excited than I am? He lightly punched his chest proudly. Well, it's the debut of Meligoose. Why shouldn't I be excited? Hyunyu reluctantly accepted, I won't let you down. The scene of the mountains appeared with towering trees, sunlight streaming through the leaves, creating shimmering magical rays. In the Black Mountain Forest, 3 dark elf warriors with pale purple skin and sharp ears appeared, their fierce faces and glowing eyes ready to attack. Hyunyu, equipped for battle, smiled confidently at Tanji. This is our first hunt. It all depends on you. You replied with a determined face. Of course, owner. He swung his sword, his face eager. Let's level up crazily today. Tanji jumped up enthusiastically, cheering. Go, owner! Hyunyu shouted loudly. Cheer! Cheer! For your head! Information about skills appeared. Rare, Bear Spirit, Pure, Level. Tanji raised his hand proudly. Go on, defeat the enemy. Skills appeared with the words, Blessing of the Forest. Rare, Pure, Level. Hyunyu was astonished, mouth agape. Huh, you're a support pet, not a defender. He charged forward angrily, shouting, Human, how dare you be careless in front of us? He quickly dodged and replied, Careless, I like it okay. Hyunyu felt cheerful inside. That lousy pet, I didn't check it well yesterday. I didn't expect it to boost my physical attack and defense stats and continuously recover health. It's even more useful than some support at my level. He felt excited. I really like it now. Jen peeked out from behind a tree, grinning wickedly, his eyes revealing clear interest. He asked his teammates, Today let's target him, okay? Jen rambled on about the spirit armor and the red chain mouse. He's definitely a rich guy. What about a new team? Tie's voice sounded in agreement. For today's script, Crawford replied friendly. You guys are really good at acting. So we'll ambush him when we get the chance right. Bashin voiced her concern. What if he's just a side character? She hesitated, continuing, but he looks pretty skilled in battle. Jen crossed his arms, smiling with disdain. Who cares if he's a side character? The guys lurking in this forest are only around level 20. There's no way he could defeat a mid-level 40 team like us. He continued with a self-satisfied tone. Ambushing him is a piece of cake. Say nodded in agreement. Yeah, it's not our first time doing this. Crawford encouraged her. You're worrying too much. Bashin stammered, sorry, as he smirked, signaling his teammates. So he's our target for today. Let's go take his gear. Hyunyu lightly raised his hand to his forehead. Wiping sweat after the tense battle with the 3 dark elf warriors, he felt a bit disappointed. I recorded it, though. It seems hunting dark elves isn't that exciting, Tanji said, satisfied. Owner, you did pretty well. Hyunyu grabbed Tanji, shouting loudly, I'm not raising you just to hide and cheer. And it's not owner, just master. You pouted, arguing, I've already boosted you, what else? Master, he emphasized, annoyed. Just boosting doesn't end the battle, does it? Your physical stats aren't that high, but you still have to put on a show to distract the enemy. Jen and his teammates stepped out to greet you. Are you hunting alone? If so, would you like to join our team? Hyunyu was surprised as he looked at the group of strangers. He thought to himself, this is unreal. He approached them speaking in a friendly tone. He was lucky to meet a player in the Black Mountain Forest. He quietly assessed the 2 warriors. An archer and a monk, a solid team, right? Why do they want to recruit me when I'm not even a mage? Hyunyu was cautious, reasoning further. Although their gear was around level 20, that sword could only be equipped at level 40 or higher. They're hiding their levels and approaching me, which means they're PK players. He suddenly thought, wait, if they really are PK, then it's like a blind cat catching a fish. He greeted everyone, so you really want me to join, thank you. Jen cheerfully replied, so you agreed to join us, huh? He felt smug, thinking he had caught a new player. He introduced each member. I'm Jen, the damage dealer, and this is Kia and Crawford, the front line. And that female monk over there is named Basin. Hyunwoo mentioned another name. I'm Yang-chan. I hope everyone can help me. He smiled knowingly, feeling weak, so he let them know his real name. He leaned over Ka's shoulder and said loudly, I'm Tangi, breaking the serene atmosphere of the forest. Sunlight filtered through the leaves and the peaceful atmosphere was preparing for the battle ahead. Hyunyu shouted as he launched a critical attack on the 2 dark elf warriors, their fierce faces yelling a warning of an enemy. Sia stood in front of Yang-chan, wielding a massive sword, ready to respond. Hyunyu stood behind, suddenly rushing out to attack. After his strike, he used Sia as a shield. Sia's face twisted in anger as he growled, This human brat! Hyunyu hid behind him, smirking, thinking, these guys are really strong, like they're hiring bodyguards for free. At this rate, our levels and experience will shoot up. This team is amazing. An hour passed and Sia shouted in frustration, What the heck is this? I'm the one attacking while you hide behind me. Are we being used here? He spoke with a tone of grievance. Every time he pretended to accidentally hit him, he managed to dodge. I'm so pissed off. Jen quickly reassured him. Calm down. We're not hunting monsters. CA looked around, speaking impatiently. How much longer do we have to wait? Crawford calmly replied, well, just stick to the script. Going on like this isn't good. Jen raised his voice. I was planning to wrap this up early anyway. He laid out the plan while fighting the elf chief. Just take him down and pretend it was an accident. Consider it a chaotic mix-up. Crawford agreed, praising the clever plan. Oh, and Tang told me what he heard. Hyunyu looked surprised. They said they would ambush us while fighting the boss. He confirmed, that's right, the clueless master. He said, so those guys are definitely PK. Hyunyu spoke coldly. If we manage to catch them, I've leveled up quite a bit and met my goals. Then I'll stab them in the back before they ambush us. He continued with excitement. The title will be The PK Player Who Got His Comeuppance. Sounds intriguing, right? Yang Chan will definitely love it. Hyunyu was determined. I'll take revenge on those who dare stab me in the back 1,000 times over. Tang trembled as he spoke. Master, you're so cruel. Jen and his teammates approached and he spoke sincerely. Yang Chan, sorry for making you wait. Hyunyu, hands on his hips, calmly replied, it's fine. Jen friendly suggested, now we're going to hunt the boss. Do you want to join us? He was surprised and asked, hunt the boss? I'm not sure if I can be of any help. I might just slow you all down, Jen replied cheerfully. Slow you down? No way. Your attack power is really strong. He felt uneasy inside. Are you kidding me? Even now, you're thinking of bailing? He lowered his voice, inviting him. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have gotten this far. So let's hunt the boss together, okay? Hyunyu pretended to be caught in a trap. If everyone is so willing, then I should be too, right? He excitedly suggested, let's keep the same formation as before. Okay, Jen agreed. Of course. Hyunyu opened his mouth wide, laughing heartily. I'll show you what it's like to balance the odds. Jia felt uncomfortable, thinking, that arrogant bastard, just wait, I'll make you pay. They all charged into battle together. The elf chief, furious with glowing purple eyes, unleashed a powerful slash with his large sword aimed at Carr and Crawford. He kicked with extreme speed, and Crawford took the hit directly from the dark elf chief's kick. His attack was so powerful that it pushed him back. He sneered. Is that all you've got? The human warrior? The dark elf chief coldly remarked, considering the Black Mountain Forest to challenge himself. Then being brave is the bare minimum for a warrior. You don't seem ready yet, he said, feeling the tension inside, knowing it was because he was using low-level gear. Level 40, and this chief is still tough. Crawford wondered when he would signal. Jen speculated that this guy was definitely planning to train his skills. Even while hunting the boss, he was executing a plan. I'll shoot a barrage of arrows, and at the same time Bashin will buff everyone. Then I'll shift all attacks to him. Got it, Crawford replied, but then he asked, do we really need to finish him off quickly? He grinned menacingly, sticking out his tongue. Let me toy with that arrogant dog. After he was paralyzed, Jen commented, you're really a freak. Hyunyu chimed in with a satisfied tone. All set, cooldown's done. Jen subtly signaled for the team to start. Bashin acknowledged, all right, and spoke loudly to bless him, feeling relieved that they were finally starting. Gen drew his bow and shot, unaware that Tangi was hanging on his leg. He climbed up, leaning his face close to the guys, and Tangi suddenly startled him with a shout, causing Gen to jump and accidentally release the arrow. It flew off uncontrollably, taking advantage of the opportunity to ambush him while he was off guard. How should I torment him for maximum pleasure? Unfortunately, the arrow Gen shot hit him instead of Hyunyu. Crawford panicked and shouted, What the hell, Gen, you distracted me with that stupid bear. Not pleased, he replied. It's not a stupid bear, it's Tangi. He seemed a bit guilty. Sorry, Tangi, just a little mischievous, Gen groaned in pain. Damn it, Crawford, what's going on? Gen shouted a warning. Crawford behind you. The dark elf chief sneered coldly. Being careless isn't a privilege for chickens. Hyunyu loudly ordered, let Crawford go, as he desperately called for help. Yang Chan, why don't you understand what's happening? The dark elf chief wore a puzzled expression. Hyunyu didn't attack him, but your sword is aimed straight at Crawford, he said, astonished. Why me? He coldly declared, the ultimate confirmation, stabbing Gen in the back. Gen panicked and yelled, What are you doing? Hyunyu sneered. What do you mean by that? A hunter must also be ready to become the hunted. He tried to deny it. We're not Tangi, standing beside him, describing the situation while fighting. Just kill the elf chief and pretend it was an accident. Consider it a chaotic mistake. Gen stammered in horror. How did you know? He gritted his teeth, aiming at Hyunyu. Damn it, he said with disdain. Just shoot straight. Too easy to guess. The dark elf chief observed from afar as Hyunyu struggled to hold back his curses. If I could teach you, you would have been done for ages ago. He sneered, looking at him, unleashing a finishing blow. Don't talk too much. Hyunyu focused on countering leaning to deliver a decisive slash at both opponents. At the same time, he struck the human. This is quite interesting. After a while of fighting, he completely took down the others. Hyunyu remarked disdainfully, let's see if the recording is okay. These guys are just a higher level than me. Can't handle the weak opponents or the viewers won't enjoy it. He chuckled, self-assessing. But this should be entertaining. The video should be fun now that the act is done. It would be great to have a worthy opponent to showcase skills. The dark elf chief had been waiting. Are you done yet, human? He seemed to enjoy a strong opponent. That's when the fun begins. Hyunyu provocatively said, the subtitle of the video will be Level 20 Player Slaughters Dark Elf Chief. Right. Both sides charged at each other without mercy. Returning to the real world, Yang Chan turned back and asked, "How did you manage to handle all of them?" Hyun shared frankly, "The PK gear and the boss kill rewards today, I hit the jackpot." Yang Chan added excitedly, "Because of the PK penalty, a lot of gear dropped from those guys. This video is going to be a hit. Getting a top-notch editor is where we start our plan." Hyun understood. "Oh, you mean streaming?" He replied shortly. "Yeah, that's it. What's up? $0. "How can you not know the address when it concerns me?" Yang Chan calmly replied, "You'll find out when the time comes." A freshly printed sheet lay in the tray. The words on it read, "Plan to make Kang Hyun a star, 1% progress." Yang Chan shook his head and sighed. "There's not a decent editor among them." He went through each candidate's profile. "This one's skills are lacking, and this one can't be contacted. How about we just raise the salary a bit?" Yang Chan nodded in agreement. It would be great if Hyun could turn things around. All that's left is to find a top-notch editor. He joyfully exclaimed, "This is the one, I found an editor." Candidate information, Eli's movie video editing specialist. Achievements, most trending video this month on Arena Creator of the Year. Yang Chan quickly clicked, "The salary demands are a bit steep, but this person is a perfect fit." The image of a girl with a ponytail appeared. Elise, a famous anonymous video editor in the Arena content creator community, meticulously crafted every frame in her videos and carefully added background music. Her color grading technique is incredibly captivating to viewers, which is why the Arena content creator community has given her the nickname Master Video Editor. Over here, Ellis was staring at the screen. She muttered curses. "This is garbage. This one too. Why are you so bad at PK? You're only strong because you spend money." "Useless." He clicked his tongue in disgust. "You expect me to edit a video for this trash?" He deleted everything, but suddenly froze when he came across a name. He exclaimed in confusion, "Yang Chan." That guy Michael introduced himself. Elise curiously opened the attached video. He widened his eyes at the screen, sweat beading on his temples, stammering, "This. I recognize him. He's the one who posted Meligoat's video. This PK hunting story is perfect." Not to mention the battle with the elf chief was absolutely amazing. He couldn't hide his overwhelming excitement. "I want to edit this video so badly, editor Alice Movies Alice," he declared. "From now on, he's officially my idol. I'll take you to all the glories of the arena." Hyun jolted, cold sweat pouring down him like a shower, feeling a chill run down his spine. Tang asked, "What's wrong, you blockhead?" He cautiously looked around. "I suddenly feel uneasy. Could there be enemies lurking around here?" Hyun clicked his tongue and brushed it off. "Forget it." Tang, resting on his shoulder, asked, "What's going on, Master Blockhead?" He calmly explained, "Because of the penalty, those PK guys dropped this." He showed a rare skillbook item. "Using this will grant you a random rare skill." He cherished the book in his hands, thinking, selling this could make a fortune. What if I get something cool? Hyun turned to ask a hypothetical question. "Hey, if we had an undeveloped piece of land and we weren't sure what it would be like, do you think we should cultivate it or just sell it off?" He innocently asked back, "Why would you buy that land?" Yang hesitated. Maybe to farm." "To farm? But why would you want to sell it? Are you short on cash?" Hyun immediately waved his hands, denying. "No, that's not it." He recalled the pile of loot he had just sold. "I sold all that PK gear already, so there's no need to sell this." Hyun decisively opened the book wide. "Whatever it's not, like I bought it. Trying it out won't cost me anything. Notification. You have just used a random rare skill book. You have acquired a new skill. Details below: blood debt, paid in blood, a passionate skill. A rare passive skill with a proficiency of F that nullifies 10% of the opponent's defense." Hyun exclaimed in astonishment. 10%, I hit the jackpot. Thank goodness I used it, Tang. You're my lucky charm." Tang yelled in despair. "You blockhead put me down already." Just a few days later, Hyun's video was uploaded to Arena World, title, PK and the Ending. Views and discussion skyrocketed. This video received explosive reactions, especially the feedback from those who were PK when they were new. Chan leaned in close to the laptop screen, and before long it had over 150,000 views already. He was thrilled to realize that Alice's movie edit was something else. This person probably got a lower price than usual, must be enjoying Hyunyu now. I should post it on my channel too. The office building is still lit up. Kale leaned back in his chair, resting his chin on his hand, watching the video about those PKs. Scamming those scammers is quite an interesting idea. The office manager of the company, Kale, exclaimed in surprise, "Still not done." The chief of the tribe lunged forward, throwing a punch at his target. Hyunyu spun around and kicked straight at his stomach. The chief let out a roar, revealing sharp fangs as he attacked relentlessly towards him. Hyunyu was confident in his speed, dodging all of Kale's attacks. He commented, "A player at this level can easily take down the chief of Dark Elise thanks to his skilled maneuvers." He tilted his head and asserted, "All this time I've wasted my time with those underperforming candidates. This person has all of the qualities to become a star." Kale decisively exclaimed, "We have to get him to sign a contract with Nai. Channel Aegon. I need to contact them quickly." The sky was clear and the sunlight shone brightly as Chang cut through the canopy of the Black Mountain forest. An orc was struck by a slash, severing one of its arms, causing it to scream in pain. The others roared aggressively, and Hyunyu commanded, "Lift the corn." He jumped up frowning as he replied, "Right away, Master Hard-Headed." He smirked, thinking to himself that he was leveling up much faster than before. Back when he was Maligo, being new meant he lacked both knowledge and equipment. This time, everything was much easier. Hyunyu rushed in to attack them, but it had been 2 years. I need to get stronger quickly. The screen clearly displayed his status, Kang Hyun. U-level 24 warrior title recognized by Khan. He stood confidently with his hands on his hips, declaring, "Now I can handle the entire Orc Prairie." Tang-hee boasted, "Looks like I'm getting stronger, Master Hard-Headed." The status update showed Tang-hee, level 15 plush bear title heir of Buzzing Island, friendly level 15. Hyunyu felt satisfied. You've reached level 15 already. Each type of pet has a different stat increase when leveling up. Commonly, it's 3 to 5, rare is 6 to 7, and unique is 8 to 10. This stat increase means it's definitely a unique pet, he silently calculated in his head. It supports well now, and later on it should be able to defend too. Tang-hee sitting on Hyunyu's shoulder whined, "Master Hard-Headed, I'm tired. Carry me." He frowned in annoyance, thinking that he just needed to correct this brat's attitude. Hyunyu bent down and ordered seriously, "Make sure to check carefully. Don't miss anything." "Got it." "You got it, Master Hard-Headed," he mumbled. Hyunyu noticed something on the ground and exclaimed in surprise, "Huh? What's this?" He picked it up and curiously said, "A necklace. How did something like this end up here?" "I've never seen this before." A quest notification appeared. "You have received a new quest, Heir of the Prairie Wolf Tribe." Hyunyu felt a bit confused about the quest. The Heir of the Prairie Wolf Tribe. The quest details were clearly presented. "You have received the bone necklace of Cancun, the future chief of the Prairie Wolf Tribe. Please deliver this necklace to Raccoon, the current chief." Hyunyu quietly asked, "Is this a delivery quest? What does it mean to be recognized by the final boss?" Tang-hee leaned forward to look and said, "Master Hard-Headed, I want to see too." Hyunyu calmly assessed, "Taking down Dachan the Great King will be tough. And Chief Raccoon is probably just an NPC." He frowned, evaluating the hidden quest. "Oh, this is interesting." Hyunyu seriously analyzed, "Since it's a D+ rank quest, I need to be at least level 30 to undertake it. So I have 4 levels to go, huh?" he said with determination. Hyunyu dashed quickly through the forest, resolutely shouting, "Time to grind. Let's go hunting." Tang, why are you crying? Take a break." "That master of yours is a demon," he grumbled. "So slow, so damn slow," Hyunyu thought to himself, pulling at his ears. "Grinding for ages just to level up, once hunting alone is so limiting." Tang-hee pointed at him, complaining, "What's it like to be alone? I'm supporting you from behind, but I'm tired of your whining. Master Hard-Headed, you're ignoring me. Hunting in a team would level you up much faster. That's if you can find a reliable teammate and stop whining about your hard-headed master, you know." He lifted his head, tilting it slightly towards the sound. Hyunyu turned back, guessing it sounded like an explosion. Was it magic? A hand raised high in the air was casting a spell, striking at the muscular arm of the orc with a magic arrow. He gritted his teeth, letting out a painful groan as he continued to unleash his second spell of Fireball. After the final blow, he completely collapsed, lying flat on the ground. He wearily spoke, "This guy is the wizard Mason." Mason gasped, sitting down on the ground exhausted. His mana was running low, just like his blood pressure. He had almost used up all his potions. "I guess I should take a break," he thought, looking down at the ground with a hint of worry. Hunting alone as a wizard is really tough. A voice rang out from behind and Mason immediately reacted. "A monster, I didn't even have time to rest my hands." He shouted loudly, launching a magic arrow. Mason was stunned. "Oh my god, it's a person." One side of Hyunyu's shirt had been scorched. "Sorry, man," he said, tilting his head, his face showing discomfort, almost getting burned. Mason was secretly amazed at Hyunyu's ability to dodge his magic arrow from that distance. He shook his head to dismiss the misunderstanding. "Don't worry, it's my fault for appearing so suddenly. I'm Hyunyu," he awkwardly introduced himself. "I'm Mason." He became cautious. "What do you need from me?" Mason wondered. This guy was dressed strangely and was suspiciously carrying a stuffed bear. He assessed his strength and speed in casting spells. It was impressive. "Let's team up," Hyunyu suggested. It seemed like he was also hunting alone and wanted to form a party to grind some levels. Mason hesitantly asked about the party proposal. "Are you sure I'm really strong?" he confidently asserted. He analyzed the opponent's strength. He had never heard of a PK with such a strange appearance. Plus, he managed to dodge his magic arrow. "I'm not just any weakling," Mason thought, considering the benefits. Hunting alone could be quite tough, so this might be a good opportunity for him. He happily accepted. "All right, let's form a party then." The two shook hands, cheerfully agreeing to cooperate. In the misty pine forest somewhere in the Black Mountain woods, an orc with glowing red eyes and sharp fangs roared angrily, swinging down with a decisive strike that split its body in half. With a cold slash, a voice from behind interrupted. "Well, the attack is over, so enjoy it," he muttered, clearly displeased. "What a hassle," the guy replied sarcastically. "It's the order of the guild leader," said the man in armor, Gilthak. He turned back with a smile, asking his teammate, Junyu, "How do you feel about this trip? Is it safe?" The man with orange hair was Gilthak Logan. He expressed his joy. "Of course, this is my first time being pulled into a rank like this." He recounted with a slightly regretful tone, "I'm Park Junyu, a member of the famous Hack Guild. My account was just deleted due to an incident." but because my superiors value my contributions to the guild, they ordered me to create a new account and sent 2 seniors to escort me back to my old level. Junyu continued, the reason I ended up in this situation is that some coward invaded my territory and cheated to win against me in a bet deleting my character. Junyu quietly thought, I'll find that bastard and let him feel the wrath of Gil and our team. With the help of the seniors, he changed the subject, looking around the forest. I don't see any orcs around today. Is there another team hunting? But Mason spoke up. Today's target is to help you reach level 25. At this rate, that's impossible. He pondered under his heavy armor. There must be more than 1 or 2 teams clearing this place. Junyu exclaimed to everyone, Hey, over there! There's a newly respawned orc. He excitedly ran towards the orc. You guys stay back. I'll handle this, Jan called out. In another corner of the forest filled with dead orc bodies, Mason smiled brightly at Hyunyu with an excited expression. Teaming up is really great. The 2 hunting like this is definitely more effective than going solo. Hyunyu agreed, yeah, I leveled up. He described the battle plan. First, I'll lure the orcs into the area. Mason will use wide area magic to attack, and then I'll finish them off. Repeating this strategy will level us up quickly. Tangi laughed, praising, Hey, that's some good wizard technique. You're allowed to. I'm the one who provides the bow. He chuckled back. What a funny bear. He turned to Tangi, reminding him, You didn't see him greeting me with that magic arrow, did you? He immediately remembered, oh right, attacking recklessly is not acceptable. Mason quickly spoke up to explain, it was both our faults. We were startled. Who wants to attack someone else anyway? Tangi shouted, announcing, The hard-headed master has another monster appearing. Hyunyu stepped forward. I'll handle it, you just keep your mana. Mason cheerfully agreed. Okay, Hyung, focus on preparing for the battle, Hyunyu shouted as he charged into attack. He suddenly froze, looking in another direction. Junyu was running towards him from afar, holding a sword and looking furious. You bastard! Junyu yelled, cursing. You think you can bet and delete my character against a newbie like me? He recalled Hyun's taunt. Do you dare to bet on erasing your character against a newbie like me? KK. Jun yelled in anger. Dad's been looking for you. As Hyun kicked him right in the face, he looked down confused. Oh my god. I thought it was a monster. Sorry for rushing over to help him up Jun and Hyun. He scared me, so it's not really my fault, okay? Jun turned to plead with his teammates. Clearly, you did this on purpose, senior. That guy stood up straight. You're done for now, kid. You dare to delete my account. Hyun vaguely recognized him. Oh, it's you, Ma-san. Shocked, he thought my nose is bleeding like crazy. Hyun calmly asked, What's your name again? Jun exploded, shouting in anger. Park Hyung-gu, you're Park Jun. Ma-son asked in surprise. Hyung, do you know this guy? Explaining the reason for the conflict, it's because my brain-dead friend lost a bet and deleted his character. He immediately denied it. Who's your friend? LOL. Today, the 2 executioners Gil are right here with us. You're definitely dead. Jian placed a hand on his shoulder, calming him down. Jun, the guy threatened you better stop. My patience has its limits. Hyun interrupted him, speaking with a dismissive tone. So what are you planning to do if I can't take it anymore? I'm not scared of whatever Gil thing you have. Jian coldly corrected him. It's with Haklo. Mason worriedly said, looking at those 2, they must be at least level 60. They wouldn't ambush us, right? Hyun seriously warned Ma-san, if it comes to a fight, don't get involved. Sun coldly turned his back, clearly annoyed. Let's go. Jian agreed, we're busy hunting here. Jun loudly called after him, senior. He threatened me, so I have to report the 2 of you. Jun said in a mocking tone, I'll report to the higher-ups that Jan and Sun let someone else insult Gilda and just left. He softly said, please follow me for this matter. I'll apologize. Sun sighed in frustration. He swung a slap at Jun's face, criticizing him for being so arrogant. Sun suddenly changed his mind, but if we lose a team, hunting will be easier, right? Hyun leaned forward, asking challengingly, so you want to fight? You're betting on a character deletion match, huh? Mason exclaimed in panic. Hyung, if you lose, your character will be gone too. Tangi, confused, spoke up. If you lose, what will happen to me? Hyun calmly replied, well, I'll just disappear then. You spoke with a trembling voice, aren't you? Scared at all? You 3, if you're brave, come here. The rule will be, winner takes all, loser deletes their character and represents the opposing side. Sun spoke disdainfully, a level 20 guy, full of pride. Jump? I accept the challenge. The battle rules are as follows. 1 representative from each team will fight. The winner will stay while the loser will be replaced. The team that runs out of members first will lose. The system announced the battle starting. Players Kang Hyunyu and Sun Junyu spoke provocatively. This time you're going down loss. He reminded it's too loud. Jun and Ma-san, standing behind, worriedly asked Hyung, will it be okay? Tang-hee, frustrated, shouted, if you lose, I'll curse you for life, you idiot. Hyun smiled confidently, reassuring his teammates. Don't worry, this game is easy. The system signaled that the match was about to begin. Sun spoke arrogantly, we're very busy, so with 1 hit, I'll knock you out. Hyun smirked, full of challenge because of the level difference. 1 hit might be too much, but 10 hits are nothing. Sun stepped forward, confidently laughing. Do you understand why Park Hyung-gu hates you so much? Sun drew his great sword, raising it high above his head, preparing a crushing attack aimed straight at Hyun. The blade descended at incredible speed, but he quickly dodged the attack and countered. Immediately, he widened his eyes in surprise through the gap in his helmet. Hyun smiled victoriously, while Jan and Jun were utterly shocked. their expressions extremely stunned by what just happened. Mason thought to himself, wow, he read the trajectory of that claymore. He even countered while dodging. Sun was clearly being overwhelmed in the battle. He didn't understand why he couldn't hit him. Sun thought to himself, considering both level and equipment. I should have won against him. Why is this happening? Hyun sarcastically emphasized. Surprised. Huh? Who wouldn't think that with a higher level victory would be easy? But the arena is different. He declared loudly. Level and equipment aren't guarantees of victory in PvP. Hyun explained clearly. Even if your level is lower, there's always a way for me to defeat you. He calmly concluded that it was continuously targeting the weak points, which took quite a bit of time, but once mastered, any player at any level could be taken down. Masun, stunned, spoke up. Hyunwoo, you know how skilled he is. But he didn't expect that at this level. Hyunwoo looked at the other two and shouted, "What's wrong with you guys?" After the first round of the match began, player Kang Hyunwoo emerged victorious and signaled for them to come up for the next round. It was a complete one-sided massacre. Nothing surprising, as they were dumbfounded by Hyunwoo's skills knocked out without any resistance. So only one member remained, Park Hyunwoo, who mocked how ridiculous. He walked slowly, relying on others to level up to rebuild his character. But your character is about to be deleted. Hyunwoo smirked. I'm curious if anyone in the guild even wants to carry you anymore. He muttered to himself. Every time I see this guy, I can't help but think of that Hanbach Ki. Hyunwoo felt a wave of disdain. They're all arrogant, relying on others for support and looking quite similar. He felt a sense of satisfaction wanting to humiliate him. Hyunwoo pointed to the ground and ordered him to kneel. Who knows, I might spare you. Junyu's face turned pale, panicking, thinking, what should I do? What should I do? In the past, Park Yoon-gu had been knocked out by a single move when he was level 40, and now at level 20, there was no way for him to win. He trembled, biting his teeth so hard that they bled sweat, pouring down, utterly terrified, his heart racing. Junyu's eyes widened crazily, his pupils turning red. The system detected his abnormal state, and the arena system decided to grant him a small gift announcing that player Park Yoon-gu had entered a berserk state. Masun gasped. He has gone berserk, Hyunwoo calmly declared. From the first time we met, I knew you were hot-headed. He looked at Junyu with a cold gaze. It's time for me to send you home. The skill activated, unleashing the power of the Titan, increasing your attack power for a limited time. Hyunwoo swung his fist towards his face. This place doesn't welcome you. He delivered a powerful kick to Junyu, sending him crashing to the ground, creating a massive shockwave. The result of the match victory, you have won the PvP match. 3 treasures appeared and he received rewards based on the all-or-nothing rule. Hyunwoo focused on the screen. Receiving 3 rewards felt like they were meant to equip him. This is way more effective than hunting. Mason anxiously called out, Hyunwoo Hyung. He calmly replied, I told you it's fine. He exclaimed in admiration, Hyung, you're so cool. You defeated those higher-level guys just with your skills. From now on, you're officially my idol. He chuckled softly, thinking mysteriously, what if I told him I was once the top player on the server? Would he be surprised? Hyunwoo felt a bit embarrassed, thinking, this is a bit awkward. He decisively declared, all right, let's keep grinding. He responded enthusiastically, yes. Mason smiled brightly, sincerely saying, thanks to you, today's hunt went incredibly smoothly. Can we do this again next time? The system announced that player Justin Mason had sent a friend request. Hyunwoo smiled and accepted. All right, let's go with that. He waved goodbye. See you next time, wizard. Today's hunt was great. Thanks to teaming up with my son. My level has reached 31. Status Kang Hyunwoo, level 31, title warrior recognized by Khan. Hyunwoo watched Mason's back as he left rare to find a kid as innocent as him in the arena. His skills were quite good too, so I have a feeling that in the future the two of us will become even closer. He looked down at Tangi satisfied. That's enough leveling up for now. Then he jumped up shouting, let's take a break, my dear owner. I want to rest. Hyunwoo firmly made the decision. Let's complete that mission. Tangi frowned and sweated, breathing heavily. He had identified the mission's goal, deliver the necklace. The mission details appeared with the title, Heir of the Prairie Beast Tribe. You have picked up the necklace of the Kankun tribe chief, heir of the Prairie Beast tribe. Please deliver this necklace to Chief Raccoon. Currently, the mission details state that to meet Chief Raccoon, I must first find the boss. The boss usually appears randomly in the territory of the Dakan tribe, with a respawn cycle of about 12 hours. It's been over 12 hours since I arrived here. It must be around here. Hyunwoo stood in the forest complaining, why isn't Dakan showing up? Tungi tried to persuade him, let's take a break, my dear owner. I'm too tired to move anymore. He turned to look at him, admitting, yeah, I'm tired too. Tangi pointed to a tree with a door. I think that place is quite suitable for resting. It's better to be comfortable. Hyunwoo thought to himself, why is there a place like this here? The sound from the system announced they were entering the lair of the Khan. Hyunwoo excitedly exclaimed, the lair of the Khan! He picked up Tangi and jumped up full of excitement. That's the entrance to the dungeon. I knew you could do it. Tangi, you're really lucky. He helplessly complained, I want to rest. Hyunwoo's voice softened. All right, I won't summon you anymore. Just be quiet. He began searching. It wasn't appearing in the area. Just like a normal boss, I wonder if it's because of the mission's nature that he hid in this dungeon. But anyway, I found it now. Hyunyu pushed the door open and stepped inside. Suddenly, a massive figure appeared before him, greeting him. Oh, hello there. Hyunyu silently assessed him. The imposing body radiated an overwhelming pressure. He seemed to recognize that this was Dakan. He stared at him, questioning, what does a human like you want here? He is the Dakan Plains king, Hyunyu thought, cautiously feeling that at his current level, he wouldn't stand a chance against him. What's going on? Dakan repeated the question, raising his hand to answer directly. I'm here to deliver this ring to Chief Raccoon. He widened his eyes, realizing that it was indeed the ring of Cancun. That damn guy is causing trouble again, huh? Dakan took the ring and said, thanks, you can go now. Suddenly, Hyunyu pulled his hand back. His eyes narrowed, filled with confusion. He swung the chain wildly in all directions, not giving Dakan a chance to grab it. He bent low coldly, saying, I told you to hand over that ring and get lost, are you deaf? Hyunyu kept smiling and replied, I want to personally hand this over to you, Lord Raccoon. He calculated in his mind that there was no way this mission would end here. If I give him the necklace, Hyunyu thought to himself, I must fully utilize this mission. Dakan said sternly, good job for your brave spirit. But if you want to meet the chief, you must have enough strength. I will test you. Clearly inform about the mission you received. You need Dakan's recognition to meet Raccoon. Fight him to earn trust. Hyunyu thought excitedly, knowing there was another mission. This ring is at least rare. Dakan comfortably raised his voice. Let's begin. He swung hard, throwing Hyunyu straight into the air. Hyunyu gritted his teeth, trying to stay calm, despite the dizziness hitting him. He quickly regained his balance and landed firmly on the ground. Dakan raised his sword high above his head, full of momentum. He poured all his strength into a powerful downward strike. Dakan's eyes widened in astonishment, because his previous attack completely missed Hyunyu. He asked, you dodged my critical hit and are still struggling. At that moment, he launched a counterattack. Despite the tense situation, Hyunyu showed no signs of defeat. However, Dakan's strength was truly overwhelming. Hyunyu silently exclaimed in pain, level 31 is still too weak to handle this. He's too strong for my techniques to defeat. Exhausted. Hyunyu thought to himself that he was truly facing the strongest opponent since returning to the arena. Dakan scoffed. With this level, you think you can meet the chief, you're not enough. A blood warning displayed 120 out of 520. He braced himself on the ground, breathing heavily. Of course not. I haven't even unleashed my full strength yet. He shouted, summon me. Hyunyu panicked and urgently ordered, prepare the corn for me, quickly. You're so annoying, Master Hardhead. Do you know how long it's been since I was let go to rest? Huh! Tangi yelled in frustration. What are you hunting so much for? You're about to get addicted. He retorted roughly, what if you're a pet? Just stay in your lane. Dakan interrupted their argument. You're the troublemaker on Buzing Island. Tangi exclaimed in surprise. Oh, it's you, long time no see. Is that guy your master? Tangi casually replied, yeah, just call him Master Hardhead. Hyunyu was stunned and asked loudly, what the hell, you two know each other? Tangi calmly asked, are you two fighting? He explained, no, I'm taking a test to meet Raccoon. Tangi nodded understanding, oh Lord Raccoon. Dakan said sternly, enough of that. Don't forget you're still in the test. If he is your master, I allow you two to team up. Do you want to join? Tangi crossed his arms and suggested, if I intervene directly, it won't be good, so I'll just chant from the back, Master Hardhead. Hyunyu smiled teasingly. So you can do that, huh? 2 notification boards appeared. You have received the spirit of the bear. You have received the blessing of the ancient forest. He coldly declared, come on, human. I won't hold back just because you're my grandchild's master. Hyunyu cautiously thought that even if he got the corn, he didn't think he could win against him. I can't just back down like this. Hyunyu motivated himself. I will go as far as I can. Hyunyu lay flat on the ground, completely exhausted. Dakan felt a bit disappointed. Is that all? I'm completely worn out. I surrender, Hyunyu said. If I keep going, I'll lose my life. Tangi, with a smug expression, said, stop exaggerating. You're still fighting fiercely with him, Hyunyu sadly replied. So what if I don't get through? It's all meaningless. Dakan denied. Who said you need to defeat me? He sat on the ground, stammering, wait. A large notification appeared. Mission completed. Dakan's recognition received. He spoke sternly. You have proven yourself. Here is your reward for passing the test, Dakan's necklace. Hyunyu and Tangi were overjoyed. The system announced, Raccoon appears. The wall behind him shattered. Dust and debris flew everywhere, showcasing tremendous destructive power. Over here, Dakan was tightly holding Tangi with one hand, and amidst the dust, a gigantic figure with green skin and muscular body gradually emerged. He is the chief of the wolf tribe of the prairie raccoon. Hyunyu turned his head back, feeling tense, thinking that this is Raccoon, and now he understands why he needs to go through the test. As for strength, if Dakan is like a shot of Russian vodka, then Raccoon is like a wild and powerful bourbon, not even a fine vermouth. Dakan reported Hyungnim. This human came to deliver Cancun's bracelet. Raccoon asked in surprise, what about Cancun? He clenched his fist and pressed, you brought Cancun's necklace. Hyunyu stammered, yes! As Raccoon held the necklace in his hand, confirming it was indeed his. He was furious, grinding his teeth together. Raccoon roared with anger. Cancun, you damn brat! He ordered loudly, bring him here immediately, give me the notification board. Raccoon's anger caused all stats to drop to 50%. The blood could no longer recover. Dakan placed a hand on Raccoon's shoulder, stopping him. Hyungnim, calm down. He refused Dakan's request. Don't stop me, Dakan bluntly said. Do you think he hates this so much? This time, he even hid the necklace. Hyunyu began to narrate the mission details. Kankun, Raccoon's son, and future tribe leader, despises the harsh training of Raccoon. He only knew how to avoid it. He also shared that Raccoon had made him wear the necklace to always be able to locate him and summon him with a cursed necklace that he couldn't take off. But someone helped him, and thanks to that, he disappeared. He started to speak, and the one who broke the curse is none other than Tanghi. He scratched his head awkwardly. I didn't think it would go this far. Hyunyu asked in surprise. You could do that. Tanghi looked up at him and replied, Didn't you already know my abilities? You blockhead, he said, eyes wide in disbelief. I can't believe it. I'm sorry, but because of that rebellious kid, I can't be myself. I'll reward you properly for bringing me the necklace. The screen in front of him was filled with notifications. The heir of the wolf tribe has completed the mission. You have received XP, you leveled up. Health and mana have been restored. You acquired a new skill, Magic Concentration. Magic Concentration enhances one's power, increasing magical strength by 20%. Hyunyu felt excited, cheering. This unique skill is amazing. Magic skills are the most essential in the arena, he reminded. And if you see that brat, tell him this, the Black Mountain Forest is your home. Raccoon had a message for his son. Kankun, if you meet him, please convey the message. Hyunyu quickly calculated in his head, adding another task. What a generous orc, I need to befriend him. He sweetly said, Here you go, sir. Mr. Raccoon has entrusted this to you. Raccoon turned to remind Tanghi, Little Bear, don't get too involved with the archery anymore. He timidly replied, Of course. He also revealed that there was actually no curse on the necklace from the start. It's not your fault. Tanghi gasped, mouth agape. So I didn't have the skill to dispel the curse. Hyunyu thought to himself, that makes sense. Back in reality, outside a modern building under the bright sunlight, Chang Yang-chan urged Ekang Hyunyu, wake up. He was groggily awakened. Hyunyu wondered, did you come to deliver the mission? He explained, what are you talking about? We have something important to discuss. Get up. Yang-chan excitedly announced, I have 2 good pieces of news for you. He spoke with satisfaction. First, our video has become a hot topic in the community because they keep hyping it up. Hyunyu exclaimed in surprise as he looked at the video stats. It has 170,000 views already. Hyunyu laughed loudly, hugging him. Thank you. It's all thanks to you, Yang-chan. Ichang slowly said, don't celebrate too soon. The second piece of news is even better. He casually continued, I received an email today. Hyunyu curiously asked, what is it Ichang shared? A major fashion brand is starting to venture into the arena streaming field. Currently, they are the leading corporation in this field, he said nonchalantly. They want to recruit you. Hyunyu felt like he was about to choke, thinking, the leading company in the world wants to recruit me. Hyunyu was still reeling from the information he received. I just returned to the arena less than a week ago, and immediately opportunities are opening up before me. Hyunyu unconsciously remembered the painful past those days, watching his mother struggle to care for his father in bed, followed by the time. Effie worked part-time to make a living at the convenience store. The image of Hanbig's provocative face was still deeply etched in his memory. Unable to contain the rising anger, he had thrown a punch straight at his face back then. Hyunyu felt he had nothing left but the singular goal of revenge. He unconsciously clenched his fists, emotions swirling in his chest. Yang-chan asked him once again, have you decided? Hyunyu softly replied, yeah. He straightforwardly suggested they write down the contact method right below if they wanted to reach out to them immediately. He decided to use the streamer nickname King of the Alley. If that's hard to pronounce, you can just call him Mr. G. But the real question is, what would his initials be if we go with Mr. G? He frowned, casting a sharp gaze. Milligram, are you messing with me, Kale? The powerful man in front of him was Jamie, the chairman of the company. He smiled and spoke up. Who else could you possibly be thinking of? Jamie hesitated and replied, could it be? Kale smiled mysteriously and said, so boss, do you get it now? He spoke up, revealing Melagoat. He's the top-ranked player who vanished 2 years ago. He looked out the window and praised, you've got a superstar on your hands, haven't you? Jamie's voice was satisfied. 2 years ago, the number of players in Arena started to skyrocket, making Arena popular all over the world. Now it's bringing in huge profits and developing into a whole new world. So you're telling me that Legendary Gamer has made a comeback? He felt a bit hopeful, wondering just how much that Legend's return could shake Arena. In Aslan, the auction house was just right. Hyunyu examined the items in his inventory. This one's for sale, this one's usable. He began calculating. After dealing with the gear from the PK gang, he earned 500 gold and a pair of shoes described as swamp frog shoes made from frog skin, allowing for higher jumps. His face showed pride. I even got an item from the quest from Dhaka. Hyunyu suddenly remembered that he almost forgot about this because of the reward from Raccoon. He was amazed, praising, the Khan necklace effect is no joke. Hyunyu assessed, if I add up all my gear, my stats are like a level 60 player. He thoughtfully said, since I'm only level 32 now, if I can get a unique weapon with the remaining money. At the auction window, Hyunyu touched the display panel. Right now, the most important thing is attack power. Defense doesn't matter much to me. He satisfied himself. Indeed, 5,000 gold for a unique item. That's pretty sweet, he exclaimed, surprised. And it's only 1,000 gold. That's 10 times cheaper than the actual price. He thought decisively, some guy must have quit the game and liquidated his stuff. Buy it now, buy it now. Hyun-Yu just scored a great deal, when at the same time, somewhere else in the auction house, he was known as the leader of the Black Guild Suero. Now GTI stepped up, puzzled, asking, "What's going on?" Leader Suero stammered, "It's sold out already." She calmly replied, "If it's sold, then that's good, right?" Suero regretted shouting, "But I missed a zero." Before he could retract, someone snatched it away. GT was shocked, exclaiming, "Huh, hurry up and find that guy. Bring him here." GT fearfully replied, "Yes." Hyun-Yu excitedly said, "I got it. I don't know who sold it, but thanks, buddy." The recent events surely caused friction between the Black Guild and Kang Hyun-Yu. He thought to himself, the Western New Year is just around the corner. He motivated himself, "There are still 3 days before I sign the contract with Nai. Until then, I'll just get stronger, even if it's just a little. Grinding quests must be the best choice now." Hyun-Yu smiled excitedly. "I still have a quest from Khan. Time to meet LeBron." He anticipated the details of the quest to meet the Knight of Kion. The reward from the Beast Clan was already amazing. "I wonder what I'll get from the strongest knight of the Empire." He wandered down a quaint alley. If he wasn't mistaken, Khan LeBron was at his home in Yusma. I wonder if the teleportation paper to Yusma is expensive. The scenery of the city was reminiscent of medieval Central Europe. In the Yusma Empire, Hyun-Yu looked up in awe at LeBron's mansion. He exclaimed, "It's truly magnificent. No wonder he's the strongest knight in the Empire." Hyun-Yu felt excited. Back when he was Maligo, he had never met him before. The guard stern said, "Commoners cannot enter." "Please turn back. I have a letter of recommendation from Khan. He said with this, I would meet LeBron." The guard solemnly replied, "The Duke is currently in the training area within the mansion." Hyun-Yu cheerfully responded, "Thank you." The passers-by stared wide-eyed in astonishment, pondering. The gates of LeBron's mansion are opening. That means he's entering the main scene. I can't miss this. I have to follow him. They rushed to claim, "I'm his teammate." "Hey, let's form a party," he thought disdainfully. "There are freeloaders everywhere." Hyun-Yu realized he had never seen any videos of LeBron before. "I must be the first one, he thought, activating recording mode. "They say LeBron is in the training area of the mansion." He was stunned, exclaiming, "Is that him?" LeBron questioned. "You're the one recommended by Khan." He nodded and replied, "Yes, I'm Kang Hyun-Yu." LeBron said sternly, "It's been a long time since a brave adventurer came to see me. If Khan recommended you, you must be quite skilled." Hyun-Yu silently wondered. "So there were others before me. I thought I was the only one who got the coin. Are you messing with me, Mr. Khan?" LeBron wondered if you came here to test your own strength, right? Hyun-Yu mumbled to himself, "I'm here on a mission, sir." LeBron calmly continued, "Hearing about it is nothing compared to seeing it in action. Want to see how it's done?" He turned to where the weapons were stored. LeBron set the condition that as long as you accept the challenge, he would teach you a skill you're weak at. Hyun-Yu felt frustrated, thinking, "Why do I have to fight everyone I meet?" He added another condition. "If I perform well, will you teach me?" "Can you teach me 2 skills?" Hyun-Yu asked. LeBron chuckled. "If you want, that's fine. But of course you need to pass the test first." He updated the stats before the match. All stats had increased thanks to the fighting spirit. If the opponent is stronger, the player's stats will increase. Hyun-Yu was determined this time to earn a unique skill. He confidently raised his voice. "Please guide me." LeBron observed and assessed, noting that it was indeed an unusual swordsmanship. "I've never met anyone so powerful with such reckless swordsmanship." LeBron seemed to notice something. Hyun-Yu's demeanor surprised him. "Is he ready to fight already?" The earlier calmness had completely vanished. He quickly charged in, launching the first attack, but LeBron easily blocked it without much effort. He was both attacking and commenting on his opponent, each strike filled with power. I wonder how much effort he put into honing his skills. He's not just some guy who can be taken down by good swordplay. LeBron objectively assessed him, noting that he even incorporated his legs into the fight. Most knights would probably fall before him. He remained indifferent, evaluating even while attacking. "But kid, that's just 50 points. He's not much different from those who came to challenge before." LeBron thought to himself, considering that there had been about 10 challenges so far. None of them scored above 50 points. He wondered if this guy was like those who came before him. Hyun-Yu gritted his teeth, sweating. "If I can't win, I'll give it my all," he decisively shouted, launching himself forward. LeBron blocked the attack, pushing back against his powerful strike, feeling the tension rise. His face tightened as he thought, using a charge from this distance is quite surprising. He focused intently, observing and even calculating his own distance. Hyun-Yu confidently seized the moment, thinking, "Gotcha." The sword flashed quickly. Hyun-Yu maintained his balance, landing accurately. LeBron was impressed, knowing the skill gap, yet still daring to execute such a risky move. Not only that, he managed to maintain his balance and execute an aerial attack. He was pleased, praising, "You've got some interesting talent." 80 points. Hyun-Yu was still stunned. "I scored 80 points, so how many skills will I get?" LeBron squinted and laughed. "Now it's my turn, right?" He was taken aback, exclaiming, "Huh?" He seriously repeated, "I said it's my turn to attack." LeBron eagerly said, "Get ready." He was currently very excited to have unexpectedly met a talent. Hyun-Yu's head was throbbing, looking dazed and exhausted. LeBron stepped closer and shook his hand. "Great job, kid. I really acknowledge your skills." Hyun-Yu quietly replied, "Thank you." He thought to himself, "He's only hitting the same spot. At my current level, there's no way I can take him down." LeBron raised a shiny gold coin. I'll give 10 coins to each of the 10 swordsmen. Now everyone is gathered here. There were 9 challenges before you, and you are the 10th. He praised him highly, saying he was also the strongest, even better than all 9 combined. The system appeared congratulating him. Mission completed. You received XP, you've leveled up, HP and mana restored. You received the title Outstanding Star. LeBron acknowledged Hyunyu, feeling secretly pleased to have received a title. He awkwardly spoke, as promised, I can only give you 1 skill. But the law is the law. We can't change anything. Slowly, he opened the book, revealing the master combat skills. Hyunyu's eyes widened in shock. There was a 10% boost to all stats, totaling 20%. LeBron decisively spoke up. I've fulfilled my promise regarding the coin. You can go back now. He called out loudly for him, wait! Hyun still wasn't satisfied. Is that all there is to it? You say the mission is over and send me back, really. He turned back to look at him with a confused expression. Hyunyu, I earnestly ask, is there anything I can assist you with, sir? LeBron grinned and replied, indeed, I have something that needs doing. I can entrust it to you. LeBron spoke seriously. In Brick, a lot of undead suddenly appeared. The king suspects the dark sorcerer is behind this. He looked at him and asked, are you willing to investigate this for me? The system announcement rang out. You have received a new mission, investigate Brick. Hyunyu's mouth fell open, the words echoing in his mind. The mission was a main story arc with a vast map and notes below. The main story mission has a significant impact on the game's plot and the development direction of the arena. LeBron cautiously reminded him, I've heard that summoning spells and magical energy are his specialties. Be careful not to let him manipulate you, he replied confidently. Got it. I promise to bring the truth of this case to light. Hyunyu clenched his fists, showing his determination. Just after his return, he was already making strides. He was only level 33, but had suddenly become the one holding the fate of the entire arena. He thought to himself, before setting off, I need to prepare thoroughly. Shifting to the scene at Aslan, the integrated trading hall, Sueron exclaimed in shock, What? He loudly questioned, Haven't we found him yet? Sueron impatiently ordered, Quick, get that thief who stole the sword back here. Do I still have to help you with this? Is it just for show? JT grumbled inwardly, thinking, if you're dumb, you deserve to cry. She had no choice but to comply. Forgive me, I'll rush to find him for you tomorrow. Yanyu walked by, feeling annoyed. What kind of idiots are causing trouble in the trading hall? Sueron lost his temper, shouting, There's no other chance. That damn dog has already taken the sword back here. Make him kneel before me, understood? Hyun? You wondered? The guy who sold the dwarf sword, what does he want with it? He suddenly realized, wait, isn't that the Guildhag emblem? Hyunyu thought sarcastically, the slogan of hatred can't fade away. He removed the device from his head and logged out of the game, decisively taking on the role of the main scene executor. Best to avoid such annoying matters. Handle it sooner rather than later, he calculated coldly. Should I stop the betting and delete characters to make each one go away? Hyunyu was very confused. No, that would take too much time. Time is money, or rather life. Each high-level member could just dissolve on their own. Yang-chan smiled and gently called out, Hyunyu, let's have dinner. He asked, what should I do now? Hyunyu quietly replied that Yang-chan proposed a simple solution. Just post a provocative video to them. He suggested posting a challenge on the forum for a PK match. Hyunyu looked up and asked, what if they refuse? He calmly concluded, once the challenge is posted on the forums, they won't be able to ignore it. Isn't this the chance for you to take down Gil all at once? Yang-chan further analyzed, you'll also become the hot topic of the entire arena. It's a win-win. Hyunyu stuttered, calling out his name Yang-chan, and he happily replied, you're truly a genius. He humbly denied, oh no, that's only if you can take them down one-on-one. Hyunyu confidently laughed, who am I? I can take down all of Gil just to fill my pockets. Why wait any longer? The next day, Hyunyu's challenge flooded the forums at the Gil base. The council member JD rushed in from outside, panicking. President, it's bad. Sueron questioned, what's all this commotion about? She stammered, it's GTI reporting in horror. Some guy has posted a challenge video about us all over the forums. He exclaimed in disbelief. What? Sueron recalled the video he had just watched the day before. No, I'm an arena gamer, the boss of the alley. I made this video because of a message I just received. In the video, Hyunyu recounted the message thanking him for the video he posted about punishing the high-level members of the Black Tower. He angrily exclaimed, which damn fool is this? He declared loudly. So I decided that by all means I would make the characters of those guys fly without wings, or in other words, go to the hunting grounds and dungeons that have been occupied for too long. Hyunyu revealed the plan. As far as I know, there are a total of 15 high-ranking members in the guild, including the guild leader, but since I took out 2 of them, there are only 13 left. And I challenged them to a one-on-one duel, reminding everyone not to miss the moment when they got furious and slammed their hands on the table. That sword of his was so angry it almost shouted. The one who made the characters of the high-ranking members get deleted along with the one who snatched my dwarf sword was the same person who anxiously asked if you had seen that video. The guild leader expressed her thoughts. Should we just ignore it? If we stick our noses in, it might just make things worse. He coldly repeated to ignore it, and Sueron spoke up, ordering to gather all the high-ranking members. GT didn't dare refuse yes. He shouted angrily, we will crush that little brat. Gather them all for me. I accept the challenge in the large conference room of the guild headquarters. Let's analyze the situation. As far as I know, the boss in that alley is around level 30. However, if he could take down our two main forces, he must still have some tricks up his sleeve. She continued to add that the risk of the character deletion bet he proposed was too great. Even if we won, we wouldn't gain anything. Isn't it best to just ignore him? Sueron asked again, her voice filled with anger. Are you joking with me? He stood up abruptly, his voice irritated. What about my dwarf sword? What about the reputation of Gil? Another person suggested. How about we set a date for the duel and then ambush him? Sueron nodded at that idea, meaning we should set a trap for him, right? Yungu suddenly appeared and spoke up. You guys are pathetic. All the members shouted in unison. The commander looked disdainful. You're all under Gil's command in this new world, and you think you can ambush a level 30 guy. The man in front of them was Kang Jong-gu, the temporary commander of Gil in the new world. Sueron hurried out to greet him. What brings you here from so far away? Yungu interrupted him. John, come here? The guy obediently replied, yes. And Yungu punched him hard in the stomach, causing his face to contort in pain enough for him to kneel down. Yungu questioned him for daring to monopolize the dungeon without reporting to us, and even 3 guild members were deleted in a humiliating way. My patience has reached its limit. He loudly called out Sueron's name, making her jump and respond, yes. Yungu ordered her to immediately record a video responding to the challenge. You all need to handle this properly naturally. The strong will prevail over the weak. He warned in a serious tone, hoping this time Gilthak would be the one laughing in the end. In another scene, Kale was sitting and waiting for someone in a fancy restaurant. He suddenly turned and smiled, exclaiming, oh! Hyunyu friendly approached and greeted. You must be Kale, right? Kale commented, Mr. G, you look even better in person. He politely replied, you too. And he couldn't stop praising, even though he had already seen it a bit blurry since the call. Your English is quite good. Hyunyu honestly shared, I studied a little before. Kale calmly said, let's continue our conversation while we eat. All the dishes are already laid out on the table. He showed Hyunyu the contract and reminded him, this is the revised contract. Read it carefully. He felt pleased inside, just as Yang Chan said their conditions were the best in the industry. Hyunyu straightforwardly expressed, as expected, it's great. Kale added, make sure to check the end. There are a few new items added. He scrolled down to see the content which stated the contract. Duration was 2 years, and for every 10,000 registrations, they would be paid $10,000. For every 100,000 registrations, there would be an additional bonus, and each month, 1 rare skill book and 1 unique material could be chosen. Hyunyu thought to himself, I can receive a unique material every month. He pondered, then I could craft items using the secret techniques I got back when I was Meligo. Kale looked at him calmly and asked, are you satisfied? Hyunyu was a bit skeptical, wondering if these conditions were real. Kale looked at him casually and asked if he was satisfied. Hyunyu felt a bit skeptical about whether these conditions were real. He happily replied, of course, Mr. G, or should I call you Meligo? Honestly, I think with you that's still just the tip of the iceberg. Hyunyu exclaimed in surprise, Meligo, I haven't heard that name in ages. He whispered to himself, how does he know that? Just like a deer. Kale presented the term stating that my side would only need to put the Nike logo on your gear and a designer would work with you. So please discuss with that person at least once a week. Kale politely asked, may I ask, do you have any plans coming up? Hyunyu genuinely shared, next week I plan to start live streaming. He confidently revealed, you should be on the lookout. I prepared a pretty big deal. Kale muttered to himself, big by Meligo's standards, huh? He smiled warmly, showing his satisfaction. I'm really looking forward to it. Hyunyu arrived home and announced, I'm back. Yang Chan eagerly asked, did you sign the contract? Hyunyu confidently replied, of course, oh, and Gilthak has already posted a response video. Hyunyu calmly responded, they said Yang Chan is scheduled for the Yusma Arena in 2 days at 8 p.m. He replied nonchalantly, oh, really? He curiously asked Han, aren't you going to play it cool? Hyunyu decisively answered, that would just waste time. I'm going hunting. He stepped into the swamp area. In the game, the lizard god with fierce, glowing yellow eyes, a creature with its mouth wide open revealing sharp teeth. Hyunyu whispered in his mind, the lizard god in the swamp. There are levels around 60 to 70, and I'm currently at level 34, so the level gap is about 30. He thought to himself, but why are they so easy to take down? Hyunyu quietly pondered, is it because I've gotten stronger with all this gear and unique skills? I guess it's because at this level everyone is just hunting monsters, so I might be underestimating my own strength. He calculated the strength of his opponents. The guild leader Suero must be around level 85. He heard that the average level of the high-tier players is also about 70. He whispered to himself, I'm pretty sure I won't lose to them. If I'm going to play big, the stronger the better. And so I hunted for 30 straight hours. Hyunyu reflected, I took a few breaks, but basically that's still 30 hours of hard work. He gripped his sword, tightly tired, and sighed. Hyunyu sighed, I'm exhausted. I'll check my stats and then go to sleep. He summarized, I've been grinding for 3 days, and thanks to that, my skill proficiency has increased, and I leveled up 6 times, reaching level 40. He signaled that the upcoming event was finally nearing the battle. The Yusma Arena looked from above. A large red and black flag was hung, displaying the images of the 2 opponents for today's match. In the stands, a blonde spectator exclaimed, Wow, it's already pretty crowded for the usual matches. But today, it's absolutely packed. What do you think? Will Gilthak win, thanks to their overwhelming numbers? His friend next to him pondered aloud, true, they definitely have the numerical advantage. But instead of a 13-on-1, clearly a 1-on-1 would be more beneficial for him. He expressed his wish, I hope the boss of the alley wins. Hyunyu teased, are all 13 of you here? Who knows, maybe some guy ran off already? Suerone laughed loudly, arrogantly, saying, I'm just glad you decided to show up. I'll take you down and reclaim the dwarf's sword without spending a dime. He mocked his opponent, but what if you end up getting taken down by your own sword? If that happens, where would you put all that shame? He angrily shouted, what the hell, you dog? Hyunyu was ready for the battle signaling, let's get started. He loudly announced, thank you for waiting for me. I sincerely appreciate all the players present. Let's see how this match goes today. Hyunyu's voice rang out from the arena. I guarantee none of you will leave disappointed today. Let's enjoy it. Yang Chan watched intently through the screen. This guy really is something. He's truly becoming a celebrity. He continued to announce the rules. As you all know, the rules are win everything, or lose your character. Yang Chan choked on water upon hearing Hyunyu's final announcement as the team battle began. The hero raised his voice, dominating the alley, and Gil, confidently pointing forward, challenged the 13 opponents, saying, it's time for the slaughter. Yang Chan mumbled to himself, while the audience in the stands was astonished, asking, did I hear that right? The person next to him immediately confirmed, you're not mistaken, it's definitely a team battle. A signal system for Chosurone to choose team members for the match left him confused, wondering what this dog was plotting. Surone was puzzled. His opponent had no chance at all. Yet he thought he would win when all 13 of us were in the fight. What other tricks was he hiding? Hyunyu urged loudly. Make a decision quickly. Personally, I want all of you to join in. If we only send a few, the match will end too quickly, and that won't be fun at all. Surone, furious, shouted back, trying to calm himself. Determined, he thought, I don't care what he's plotting. I just need to win. Donggu sat in the stands closely watching, and Yang Chan jokingly said, if you lose, don't come back here. Finally, after a wait, the match began. Jonggu excitedly announced the president of Suerone, causing a startled reaction. He was observing and assessing his gear, which looked quite good. If I can take him down, will I be able to handle it? He accepted the request, saying, well, except for the dwarf's sword. Jonggu smiled, concluding, all right, then it's settled. He mocked the alley boss, you're done for. Boasting about his gear and skills, he added, but you know what? There are things you will never beat us at, Jonggu aggressively taunted. When you're level 2, do you really think you can handle all 13 of us with an average level of 78 or guards? Hyunyu repeated his words, questioning, skills and gear can win against numbers. So why is it just you, Jonggu? He asked, confused. Suddenly, Jonggu's body was cut across by Hyunyu's sword before he knew it. Suerone, witnessing this from behind, began to feel fear. He had just witnessed Jonggu, the second strongest in the guild, being taken down. Suerone spoke up, accusing, he was still talking and that's dirty play. Hyunyu rebutted, but the match has already started, hasn't it? Selgang told his teammate beside him that Jonggu shouldn't have underestimated this guy. Cell 1 added, surprised, I didn't expect him to be strong enough to make both of us join the fight. He realized that the two in front of him were the Cell duo. He thought to himself, the most coordinated duo in the guild. If one blocks the spear, the sword will stab. If one blocks the sword, they'll be injured. Donor Hyunyu felt no fear, thinking, it's over for you, Ali boss, easily grabbing their weapons. Sarcastically, he commented, the sword damage is so bland. Hyunyu, disappointed, remarked, one of you should have attacked my blind spot, but you attacked too simply with just a light sword strike. Selgang was easily taken down by him. Cell 1 exclaimed in shock, he won! As he panicked when being cornered. Hyunyu analyzed his opponent's strategy. The healing technique was not effective. Once the opponent was cornered, they would immediately become flustered. In an instant, Cell 1 was turned to dust by Hyunyu, who was pleased with his weapon. The dwarf's sword isn't bad, huh? He continued to challenge. What's taking you guys so long? Get in there. The audience in the stands cheered loudly, discussing excitedly that the alley boss had already taken down 3 opponents. What if he really wins? Hyunyu thought, deciding to add some fuel to the fire. He raised his voice, exposing them. You guys monopolize the dungeon and eliminate other players with this pathetic skill. He pointed his sword at them, speaking disdainfully. Besides a few new recruits, you can't take anyone down. Why not GG and get it over with? Your characters will just die anyway. The audience watching the match shouted, urging him on. Are you scared if you're scared? Just GG? Suerone felt uneasy as the audience began to rally against him. Hyunyu analyzed his opponent's psychology. Making the first strike when fighting multiple opponents was crucial. Once he took down the first opponent and showcased his top skills, the rest would start to panic, he confidently asserted. Even if they were confident in their victory before, they would start to hesitate and make more mistakes. Suerone glared in surprise at his teammates who were about to ambush him. We still have 10 people left, he said with a bright smile, taunting. What do you think? I'll give you time to form your strategy. Hyunyu explained his thought process. If they can't coordinate in time... Basically, this is no different from fighting multiple one-on-ones at the same time. I'm feeling incredibly satisfied. This is the price you pay for daring to mess with me. You guys will become the subject of my video. Everyone present at the match looks confused as a series of bright blue sword lights crisscross through the fighter's armor. Another member of Gilthak fell under Hyunyu's hands, warning that now there are only 3 of you left. Sueron tried to scream to rally them. As long as there's life, there's hope. If we can defeat you, then none of our accounts will be deleted. Once we win, it's over for you. Turu dropped his sword, sounding defeated. I surrender. He quickly questioned why we can still win. Turu replied sadly, you know it too? The guild leader continued, just adding more humiliation to myself. GT trembled and said, I want to stop here. Sueron immediately interrupted. Wait. She sighed softly, sharing, I've been so focused on leveling up and items that I haven't enjoyed the arena like before. GT reminisced, I liked our cute moments back then more. Joy is what matters most. I want to go back to that time. She decisively declared, I surrender. Sueron bitterly expressed, why did it come to this? He reflected on himself when the guild was first established. I just wanted to have fun hunting with my juniors. Sueron questioned himself, when did the joy of leveling up turn into an obsession to be stronger at all costs? A bitter thought echoed in his mind. When did our Black Guild become the villains like this? The audience above shouted in unison, destroy him quickly, take down the Black Guild leader. Hyunyu anxiously wondered, I can't believe they actually surrendered. What if they say this is staged because I won too easily? Sueron suddenly stepped forward, making him flinch. He was burdened with heavy thoughts. As the guild leader, everything that happened was his fault. I will end this battle myself, Sueron said challengingly. The Black Guild can't end here. The alley boss declared firmly, even if we lose all our accounts, it's not the end. We'll rebuild from scratch, Sueron asserted confidently. And next time we meet the Black Guild won't be the villains in your story. Hyunyu teased, wow, I didn't think you still had the will to fight. He spoke steadily but sincerely, thanking them for staying with him. To sum up the match, the alley boss faced off against the Black Guild. Despite being outnumbered, Kang Hyunyu emerged victorious. From that day on, the name alley boss spread like wildfire. At the same time, he was recognized as the embodiment of justice. Hyunyu held his head high after the glorious victory. You have won the duel, it confirmed. You have received rewards based on the rules. Everyone realized that. Because of this incident, many began to pay attention to Hyun-woo. Jungwoo spoke calmly, yet somewhat disappointed. I didn't expect much, but I didn't think they would actually fail so miserably. Alley boss. Dungwoo coldly threatened, you will definitely pay for annihilating the guild under our command. Hyunyu smugly thought to himself, this is a huge win. Kale was watching the match from an outdoor cafe. He seemed quite pleased with Hyunyu's abilities. Mr. G, is this what you were expecting? Kale followed the match closely, facing off against 13 players in a character deletion bet. So this is what a big deal looks like according to Meligos. He exclaimed impressively, if you had revealed your intention to participate in the character deletion bet earlier, I might have stopped you. But seeing how the entire community is going crazy for you, you've definitely made a big splash. Kale felt proud of his choice, achieving his own goals while also reaping satisfactory rewards. That choice was indeed not in vain. The waiter politely said, your order, sir? Smiling as he responded, thank you. Kale confidently affirmed, thinking about how much more he would surprise me in the future. That's something to look forward to, Mr. G. Hyunyu sat on the sofa, his face frowning and displeased. Young Chan, standing nearby, wondered, what's going on? Didn't you sign a contract to handle the Black Guild? He replied grumpily, just look at him, he's shocked watching on TV. Golden Eagle, the reporter asked, should I call you Jung Hanbek? He answered casually, as long as you can see me, call me whatever you like, senior. Young Chan spoke incredulously, since when? Jung debuted as a professional player. Hyun stared at the TV screen with a look of hatred. I wondered if I might forget about revenge if I didn't see his face. The decision was made. Hyun was filled with determination. My top priority is to become a professional player. He spoke with a resolute tone, ready to destroy him in the arena. Hyun firmly declared, I can't keep being lazy. I need to keep honing my skills and get stronger. I'm logging into the game now, Yang Chan exclaimed in astonishment. He worried for Hyun, are you really planning to just sit there all day with that cup? A tall, sturdy wooden gate appeared between the stone walls at the southern edge of the brick capital. Hyun quietly contemplated. He had just wrapped up the long-standing Gilhak issue and could finally proceed with the main quest. Very few people knew about the fourth main quest. If I could gather all the related information, I could monopolize the fifth main quest. Tangi excitedly said, if I want to track down those dark sorcerers in brick, I'll have to face those pesky creatures. It's best to team up with a monk, but I have no one to rely on. Guess I'll just go solo for now. You're not alone. Your master is here with you. Hyun tilted his head, still deep in thought. The problem was that he didn't even know where to start. Breaker, he shouted in frustration, don't ignore me. I know the graveyard terrain is to the south, while the dark cave is located to the north. The dark cave is a favored hunting ground, due to the abundant experience gained from defeating the Scotland creatures. Hyun spoke with a hint of sorrow, but since those poisonous dogs appeared, it's extremely difficult to take them down. As a result, very few players visit this area. Where should I go instead? The cold graveyard was enveloped by bare trees and large stone crosses. He felt a slight worry in his heart. He had come to this graveyard to avoid being disturbed while carrying out his tasks. The main quest isn't very enjoyable. Jong hurriedly walked behind him, calling out, "Hey, why are you trying to go alone? I told you it's better if we go together." Hyun walked on without saying a word, feeling frustrated, but he couldn't understand why this guy kept trailing behind him. He recounted that according to him, he was a half Chinese, half Korean, and was building a farm. His name was Kim Seok Jong. He vaguely recognized the guy in the shabby outfit. Wasn't he the boss of the alley? Why doesn't Hyun feel comfortable? He realized he was at the south gate and began to follow him. "Hey, are you planning to leave me behind?" He coldly replied, "Who would dare? I'm planning to hunt in the graveyard." Hyun felt annoyed, thinking to himself, "Damn it, I want to ditch this guy, but I don't want rumors about me spreading in the community." Young grabbed his shirt and pulled him back. "Are you planning to hunt those dogs too?" Hyun honestly confirmed, "Yes, I plan to hunt dogs there. There aren't many people, so it'll be a perfect leveling spot." He thought to himself, amazed. He easily pulled me back, even though my strength stat was over 200. How much has this guy invested in his strength? He lowered his voice and asked straightforwardly, "Don't tell me you're planning to hunt dark sorcerers." Young raised his voice, pretending to be mysterious. "How would I know?" It's a secret, Hyun thought, wondering how he knew about his quest. Young was also undertaking the main quest and excitedly proposed, "I have business with the dark sorcerers too, so let's go together." "How do you know where they are?" "You don't think I'd leave you behind, do you?" Hyun asked in surprise. "I know where those dark sorcerers are," Jong replied smugly. "Of course I suggested this because I know how strong you are. And I've already reached my second professional class." Hyun stammered, "Is that so?" He pondered in panic, slightly suspicious since bringing him along wouldn't benefit him at all. If he wanted to take me down, he would have to act now. He calculated an escape route for himself. If necessary, he could just run away. Hyun smiled and agreed. "All right, let's go together, Hyun-nim." He praised smart choice buddy. Jong led him to a gravestone shaped like a cross and confidently stated, "This is the hiding place of the dark sorcerers." Hyun skeptically asked, "Isn't this just a grave?" CEO John calmly replied, "Why rush? Just be patient for a bit." Hyun Yu looked in surprise at the gear in his hands, which was a set of gloves designed for little monks. Dong spoke up, confirming, "You know about it too, huh?" "That's right, this is a reward from the profession." Hyun Yu revealed a piece of information about a well-known secondary profession among monks, where the strictest monks belong to the solo profession. Liru monk John tightened his fist wrapped in the gloves. To break through the crucifix barrier, he silently thought that there were tons of ridiculous requirements, basically. If you weren't recognized by the top monk, you wouldn't be able to change professions. Rumor has it that not many people are suited for this profession. Hyun Yu thought to himself, that must be the case. After all, he wasn't an ordinary player. He spoke up, signaling, "Hey, little buddy, the entrance is over here. Let's go down." A fierce wolf with a skeletal grey-blue face appeared, and with just one punch from CEO John, it was easily defeated. Hyun Yu stood behind, dumbfounded sweat trickling down his temples as he observed. Inside, he exclaimed, "Indeed, Liru, monks are graceful in every strike, yet filled with power." But he still wondered, why have I never heard of CEO Kim Jong? How can he be so strong without any reputation? Hyun Yu reshaped his goals, realizing it wasn't the time to marvel at him. His top priority was to execute the main scene. He silently praised Hyun Yu's fighting style. Every movement was so fluid. CEO Jong complained, "That guy Yoongu is curious about the one who single-handedly wiped out the guild hack long ago, and now he wants me to find him." He spoke excitedly. "Sounds promising, huh?" He was already enjoying it. The three wolves had clung to him, but he didn't need to exert much effort to take them down. He was intrigued by Hyun Yu, wondering how to deal with him in this alley. The apprentice dark mage lay gasping on the floor, a look of sheer horror on his face, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth as he weakly exclaimed, "Damn adventurers," in fear. Hyun Yu stood tall, thinking. Perhaps it was because he was just an apprentice that it wouldn't affect the mission's progress. He praised, "Well done, Hyung-nim Seok-jong," and added, "You too, little buddy." Hyun Yu considered for himself, despite the dark mage being defeated, the mission wasn't over yet because the number on the mission was indefinite, meaning they had to eliminate even more. He turned to CEO Jong, pondering. But still, they had just taken down a dark mage. However, how to get away from this guy, Hyun? Yu felt confused, thinking carefully based on his personal skills. He was probably a top ranker, so perhaps it was best to keep the peace with him. CEO Jong thought seriously. He seems quite cautious. If I invite him to join the guild, he might suspect something. What if he already has a guild I need to make a good impression? Hyun Yu made an excuse to leave. "Oh no, what should I do?" "I have to go now. I'll be late for my hunting appointment with my friends," he calmly said. "Yeah, you should hurry then. Friends are important, right? If you have an appointment, I won't bother you." Hyun Yu hurriedly ran off, not forgetting to say goodbye. "Thank you for your help, Hyun-nim." CEO Jong watched as Hyun Yu's figure gradually disappeared, sighing softly, raising his hand to cover his head, feeling he didn't even have the courage to say it out loud. "I'm really such a fool." CEO Jong opened the screen, the soft blue light reflecting on his face as he spoke seriously. "President, it's me." CEO Jong firmly requested, "Yoongu don't investigate the alley boss anymore." He exclaimed, "Why suddenly?" He coldly emphasized, "When I say stop, you stop. Do you want me to repeat myself? Also, drop any thoughts of revenge or anything similar." CEO John smirked, his eyes full of confidence. "That kid is about to become my junior. Next time we meet, I'll definitely make sure you join my big family." The system will launch the arena streaming platform, which will integrate the sensory recreation feature. The service price will be set by the uploader. Everyone will be able to pay and experience the feeling of arena videos in their own space. It's a high-tech feature that allows players to experience videos from every angle. Hyunyu clicked on the screen. He exclaimed in surprise, "Wow, the video of the dark battle already has this many views." He was astonished. 1 out of 800,000 views and 10,000 sensory recreations. Hyunyu's eyes widened. Each sensory recreation corresponded to 50 cents. If multiplied by 10,000, he felt thrilled inside, meaning just one video could earn $5,000. He crossed his arms and turned to look at the Kubo device, which was egg-shaped with a translucent emerald green lid. Inside was a compartment where Yang-chan entered warmly, saying, "Hyunyu, what do you want to eat?" He could only utter 3 words in his heart. What the hell? A Hyunyu in the room was kneeling and bowing before the gaming device. He once again stepped into the world of Arena, intently pointing at the screen. He confirmed his mission, so exactly how many Dark Sorcerers do I have to eliminate? The notification on the screen said to eliminate Dark Sorcerers. Hyunyu questioned aloud, since the number was uncertain, meaning he would have to take down 2. 2 or even 10, Hyunyu looked around observing everything, then made a remark that there were indeed a lot of Dark Sorcerers. He thought to himself that he was quite famous too. What if someone recognizes me? A surprising voice suddenly rang out. "Oh, isn't that Hyunu, Oppa?" He felt a sense of pride knowing that a female fan would recognize him. Hyunyu turned his face completely, eyes wide open in shock. She excitedly exclaimed, "See, I told you it was him." The friend beside him praised, "You're the best." He was startled to realize it was Yuji and Youngjun. She cheerfully greeted him. "It's been a while, hasn't it? I didn't think we'd meet here." Youngjun eagerly asked how he had been lately. Hyunyu stammered, "It's been a long time, hasn't it? Why are you joking around like this?" He was confused, thinking he never expected to run into Yuji here. Yuji looked at him worriedly. "Oppa, are you hurt anywhere?" Hyunyu recounted the past when Yuji and Youngjun were very close as kids. But the reason he felt awkward around Yuji wasn't just because she was Yang-chan's sister. She leaned on him, tilting her head and asked, "Oppa, I heard you're living at your second brother's house, right?" Hyunyu awkwardly replied, yeah." Yuji cheerfully responded, "So now you've become a part of my family, huh?" He revealed an old story because Yuji had once confessed to him, and Hyunyu thought to himself, "I barely managed to dodge that back then." Later on, her actions became unbearable for him. He stammered, about that." Youngjun frowned and spoke up. "Nuna, don't tease him anymore. He's embarrassed." She turned around playfully and teased, "Nah, I only see you as a friend." Youngjun tilted her head and asked, "Hyun, are you here to hunt in the Dark Realm?" He sent a message saying they couldn't go together. "So do you want to join us, Hyun?" You were surprised and asked. "A party?" Youngjun confidently replied. "Our party consists of 3 people. That friend over there is a warrior. Trust us. We'll carry you." Yuji sweetly chimed in, "Let's go hunt together." Hyunyu considered it. Those girls didn't know he was the boss of the alley, and all his glorious past. He thought to himself that Yang-chan always took care of him, so he might as well hang out with them a bit as a way to repay her. Hyunyu nodded decisively. "All right then, let's team up." The 3 of them shouted in unison, "Ready to fight!" Hyunyu took the lead holding his sword in a ready stance. Before he could make a move, 2 monsters in front of him were already defeated. Hyunyu quickly turned to look back with a determined gaze. He internally praised the skills of the 2. They were pretty good. At first, he was quite skeptical about their abilities as a 3-person team, but now he thought they could conquer the level 90 undead dungeon. Hyunyu observed Youngjun's fighting skills. Her arrows were always accurate. The kid could even shoot continuously 1 arrow, 1 kill. He silently noted that Yuji was also calculating the timing for her blessings so they wouldn't run out. Managing blessings wasn't easy either. Yet she was also timing her shields perfectly. He smiled confidently, thinking he could let those 2 help him complete the mission. Yuji shouted from afar, "Shield!" She rushed over, worried. "Oba, don't be careless. You're all hurt." After a relentless battle, the Andes had been defeated. Youngjun and Yuji were astonished and spoke up. The dungeon is unpredictable. Hyunyu shared the upcoming tasks he had to do. He accepted the mission to eliminate the Dark Sorcerers, and that unpredictable dungeon would appear in this dark realm. He quietly decided it was best to keep this a secret. "It's the main quest, right?" Hyunyu curiously asked. "How many hours are you planning to play today?" Youngjun politely replied, "About 8 hours." "It's the main scene assignment, right?" Hyun asked curiously. How many hours the 2 of them planned to play today? Youngjun politely replied, "About 8 hours." He nodded and replied, "That's enough, Hyun. So what do you want to say?" The 2 of them wanted to join, and Yuji immediately agreed while Youngjun excitedly declared that the dungeon was uncertain but the reward would definitely be extraordinary. "We have to go." Hyun let smile brightly and give it our all together. He secretly thought to himself that hell was truly waiting for the 2 of them ahead. As they began, the new battle time passed from 1 hour to 3, and finally, it stretched to 7 hours. Hyun, he called out trembling. "We've been searching this dungeon for 7 straight hours. Are you sure it will show up?" He asked, exhaustion creeping into his voice. "I feel like we're about to uncover the entire dark cave." He wondered, "It should be around here, right, Hyun? How about we take a little break?" I admit that in my mind, I could hunt all day without a care, but that kid Hyun was a bit surprised inside. Still, EG looked completely unfazed. Talent for the arena. Huh? Youngjun plopped down on the stone floor, feeling overwhelmed. Just a quick break, and suddenly he fell backward as the system notification popped up. You have discovered the laboratory of the Dark Sorcerer Apprentice in Dell. Confirm entry. Hyun proudly said, "Good job, Youngjun." The cold, dark stairs stretched down to what was called the laboratory. In the room, Adele was fumbling around the workbench, his hands never stopping. He spoke in a sinister tone. "If this research gets approved, I will be able to advance to a Dark Sorcerer," Adele declared fiercely. "Once successful, I will expand the Andes army and take revenge on those who dare to look down on me." He laughed maniacally. "This is just the first step in my grand plan." Hyun broke his joy, saying, "You're the one who created that mess." He covered his mouth, smirking. "Thanks for spilling the whole plan." Adele shocked stepped back. "How did you get in here?" Hyun, sword in hand, confidently said, "We're all tired now. So let's wrap this up quickly." He smiled wickedly. "You adventurers will regret stepping into my lab." Adele raised his hand, summoning PP, a fierce beast with green eyes. The wall shattered right in the middle of the room, and all three were stunned looking at it. Adele shouted excitedly, "Become food for my masterpiece, Great Bone. BP, tear them apart for me." Hyun divided the tasks. "I'll handle the bear." "You two attack the Dark Sorcerer." EG yelled a warning. Suddenly it charged from behind to ambush him. BP unleashed a powerful attack, creating a blinding streak aimed straight at Hyun. UD exclaimed, "Oppa!" BP growled fiercely, looking up and roaring loudly. The green eyes blazed with terrifying power, glaring at its prey as it slipped from its grasp. Hyun reassured his teammates, "Don't worry, but this Scottish beast might not be all its strength." No kidding, those glowing green eyes were serious. Staring straight and threatening, EG stammered, "That's it." It looked up to the sky, howling aggressively, shaking the air. The notification reappeared, "Great Bone uses pressure skill." He was stunned inside. "It can use pressure, ma'am." The information updated due to the fighting spirit. The pressure from Great Bone was nullified. He thought in shock, pressure is a wide area control skill that only high-level monsters can use. In the worst-case scenario, they could all be wiped out by that thing. Are they okay? Hyun, surprised, said, "Adele, how do you see PP's skill?" An arrow shot out at high speed, just a blur, heading straight for him. Adele was hit in the chest, her face stunned with pain as EG and Youngjun faded into the dust. Hyun praised her in his heart. "Great job, Yugi." She timed the pressure skill perfectly and knew it was a control skill, so she immediately used immunity on Youngjun. He felt proud. The senses were incredible. It stood tall in front, witnessing Adele collapse to the floor. He muttered, "BB," recalling childhood days. "From now on, your name is BB. Grow up fast, okay?" BB looked up to the sky, crying for its master. BP was completely enraged, eyes blazing with fury. Youngjun panicked, asking, "What's going on?" It was furious because its master had died. He coldly made the decision a round 2, huh? "I should summon the ultimate weapon." Hyun raised his hand, shouting, "Summon Tanji." "To summon me means you're in danger, right?" "Don't worry, I'm here." He suddenly whispered, "Sorry for the interruption." Tanji bounced around, urging, "Hurry up and destroy that disgusting thing." "Master, I'm on it." He replied, "Got it." System notification received the soul of the bear. Stamina and strength increased. Received the blessing of the ancient forest. Defense increased. Health will continuously recover. Hyun charged straight at PP, his sword wrapped in green light, ready for a direct confrontation. EG hugged Tanji tightly. "You're so cute," Young-sun gently asked. "Is it your pet, Hyun?" She spoke softly. "What's your name?" He replied, annoyed. "I'm Tanji. Let me go." "Humans really like you, Yuji. You're so cute. Do you want to follow me?" Tanji quickly cried out for help. "Master, save me." Hyun was fighting while grumbling. "Can't you see I'm in the middle of a battle?" "Are you just going to stand around after taking out the Dark Sorcerer?" Hyun tense said, "Let's quickly deal with this thing." You upgraded the Titan's activation power and the attack power will instantly increase. Hyun-Yu unleashed a powerful strike aimed at PP's critical point, leaping high to prepare for the finishing blow. Hyun-Yu swung his sword, creating a flurry of flashing slashes. PP, exhausted, collapsed to the ground in pain. Adele, witnessing his pet being defeated, uttered his final words deep in his heart. He spent his last bit of strength trying to reach out to Adele. The ending was truly touching. Hyun-Yu exclaimed in surprise, "Oh!" The system chimed in, congratulating him. He joyfully declared, "Mission accomplished." Request details. Eliminate the Dark Sorcerer. 2 out of 2. Return to report results to LeBron to complete the mission and receive Adele's research notebook. Youngjun, with an excited expression, wondered what to do with the dropped items. He asked with concern, "What did you get?" The reply came, "The Dark Sorcerer dropped a staff and a wizard's skill book, while the bear dropped a strange marble." Youngjun added more information. "I'm not sure what that is either. You should try to assess it." Hyun-Yu picked up the red marble, feeling a bit curious. He was excited to have received this here. "Awesome!" Hyun-Yu happily declared. "This marble is all I need." The other 2 Yuji hesitantly spoke up. "Is that okay? It's your mission after all." Youngjun stammered a bit. "Well, you handled everything, so just think of it as a gift. It's been a while since we last met." Youngjun and Yuji called him affectionately, "Oh, big brother." Hyun-Yu proactively said goodbye. It's getting late. Let's log out. Youngjun obediently replied, yes. Sharing that, for him, that marble was more than enough. He returned to the city and headed to the fortress where two guards were standing watch. LeBron was already waiting there. You're back already. Faster than I thought, he said in a serious tone. What's the investigation status? Hyunyu explained, this is the research notebook of the Dark Sorcerer. LeBron focused on the notebook in his hands. The king will surely be pleased with this, he said to Hyunyu. Now let's prepare to go. Hyunyu was startled, asking, what do you mean? He turned his head as LeBron calmly replied, we need to meet with the king. You're the one investigating this. If you don't go, who will report to him? Hyunyu stammered, the emperor. The tale goes that in the 3 years since the arena opened, no one has been allowed to step into the Yusma Palace. That's why so many Gil linger around LeBron's estate. It's because they believe he has a connection to the main scene. LeBron gazed ahead and they were right. Thanks to that, the first player to step into the palace had appeared and an announcement sounded. You have received the title of the first to enter the palace. Hyunyu looked around slightly dazed. So this is the palace. He turned to reassure, don't be too tense. The king is a refined person, even has a bit of a soft spot. He's always full of grace and tolerance. Hyunyu bowed his head, replying, I understand, your majesty. In his heart he thought, does he really have a soft spot? Do I look that tense? Hyunyu smirked, thinking that since the Yusma Palace is the focal point of the main scene, he wondered what quality items the emperor would bestow upon him. LeBron introduced, this is the main hall where the king resides. He already knows you are an adventurer. So there's no need for excessive formality. LeBron nodded and gestured, you can go in now. Hyunyu's face paled slightly as he whispered in his mind, this is where the emperor sits. He saw the emperor sitting majestically on the throne. Alexander smiled brightly. You've arrived, LeBron. Hyunyu looked up thinking, that emperor looks younger than I expected. LeBron respectfully presented, Your Majesty, this adventurer is the one who investigated the truth behind the incident at Brick. Alexander widened his eyes, observing him from head to toe, and remarked, So this is the adventurer who ran errands for you. The system displayed you are paralyzed by the power of domination. Hyunyu's face changed in fear. What's happening? I can't move. He trembled, whispering to himself, feeling a similar pressure to when he encountered Raccoon. No, it's even stronger. He felt a chill run down his spine from the Emperor's power. What kind of monster would he become in the future? LeBron leaned down, speaking in a restrained tone. Your Majesty, this is not the time for jokes. Hyunyu's face was pale, whispering, I can move again? Alexander spoke coldly. LeBron, do you think I'm joking? Alexander's voice was icy as he said, LeBron, do you think I'm joking around? He suddenly vanished from the throne and then appeared right in front of LeBron. Are you ready to pay for your treason? LeBron remained completely silent, his cold gaze unwavering. He glared back, you summoned us here. But now you're starting to play games. Pay you want to risk challenging the title of the god Alexander. LeBron's intense stare caught Hyunyu off guard, making him frown in confusion about LeBron. Is he always like this? What's up with this ridiculous empire? Hyunyu thought to himself, recalling that when he was searching for information about the main scene, he had come across some things about these two guys. The story of the emperor of Yusma, Alexander, was now frustrated, questioning, why are you always cooped up at home? That damn lazy bastard needs to get to work. The strongest knight of the empire. LeBron laughed loudly in response. Do you really think you can threaten me? A divine attack gives you the right to be lazy, but as the emperor, you should be the one handling all the work. They were both students of the captain of the Imperial Knights, basically friends, which is why they could argue comfortably. You should be the one doing the work. Hyunyu looked on speechless. One was an emperor and the other a duke. Yet their conversation was no different from two vendors arguing at the market. He helplessly spoke up. Can I leave now? The two of them hesitated, realizing, I almost forgot about you. After a moment, Alexander smiled and said, It's great that you came, adventurer. I summoned you here because I have a task to assign. However, the Empire's budget is tight, so assessing your skills is necessary. Hyunyu was taken aback upon hearing this. Now he's acting normal, he continued. I'll check if you're suitable for this mission or not. A mission was immediately proposed requiring proof of skill. Alexander casually assigned the task. It's simple. Just show me how amazing you can be. You have 2 weeks, which means the assessment will end in 15 days. If you miss the deadline without any results, don't expect to see me again. After this, Hyunyu felt a surge of joy. Another mission code. How lucky if he wins 100 battles, he might gain the Emperor's trust. Without hesitation, he respectfully bowed. If you allow me, I will showcase all my skills. Back in reality, Yang Chan asked in amazement, So you completed a main scene by yourself? He felt a bit envious and added, I'm glad you finished the main scene without needing my help. A little jealous, huh? For you, it's too easy, right? Hyunyu scratched his head and chuckled. Haha, isn't luck also a kind of skill? He paused for a moment, but the issue was that according to the plan, after becoming a streamer, he would only compete in the arena during events. But now everything had turned out this way, so he thought it was best to start next Monday. Streaming in the arena all the time, Yang Chan wondered. What are you planning to do with the remaining 5 days? He honestly replied, I'll post a few promotional videos and grind to level 50. Jung suddenly remembered, I heard you met Yuji and Yoongjun, right? Those guys said you still owe them items. Who told you I gave you stuff at Chong? Hyunyu replied, they deserve to receive them. And the thing we needed to find has been found, so it's not a big deal. Yang Chan lightly scolded the wicked one. I hope we can admire it once again to witness the glorious era of a chairman. Hyunyu looked at him hopeful and smiled. Of course, he expressed his sincerity. Just wait and see. The scene shifted to a lush green forest. Hyunyu was excitedly looking at the magic manipulation book in his hand, marveling, it's truly great to have signed a contract with Nai. This is really expensive. He told Tang He, this skill book I got from signing a contract with Nai has a magic stat of 60, which is enough. So I'll use it properly. After saying that, Hyunyu began to wield his sword and practice. He pointed the tip of the sword up to the sky, and in an instant a large amount of aura gathered. With a single swing, Hyunyu's sword instantly tore through space. He couldn't help but cheer. Let's go, now I am a swordsman. Tang He, seeing this, happily ran over. Master, aren't you going to give me something? Hyunyu then took out the essence of the Great Bear. Oh, did you forget about this? Tang He was so astonished that he asked again, why are you doing this on purpose? From now on, I'll call you Master. Without hesitation, he shouted 3 times, Master, Master, Master. Tang He felt exhilarated, but also a bit scared, thinking, this master is a bit dense. I've become powerful. Hyunyu snapped back. I told you to drop the dense act. Looking at the information board as it updated, he was momentarily stunned, even managing to acquire a new skill. Wasn't that a bit too fast for development? Its stats were even higher than his. Tang He jumped up and laughed wickedly, thinking, it's time to change our positions. Master, are you ready to serve me for the rest of your life? Before he could finish, Tang He gathered a massive amount of power in his hands and glared at Hyunyu, who angrily smacked him on the head. I told you to just call me Master. Meanwhile, Hyunyu's stream was getting closer, and his channel subscriptions were skyrocketing. His latest video, featuring a massacre of wild boars, had already hit 100,000 views. The number of replays was also increasing, and Hyunyu's wallet was getting warmer, especially with the video that had the most views, a 1-minute clip announcing his debut. As a streamer and the upcoming battles rumors began spreading among the viewers, they were buzzing about the Ali Boss's debut, claiming he would start with a streak of 100 consecutive wins in the arena. Could the arena rankings really be turned upside down? Meanwhile, laughter echoed near the corpse of a monster. John was pleased, praising his junior for knowing how to make others laugh. Yungu wondered if the Ali Boss could really create a miracle. He calmly affirmed, of course it won't be long before he reaches my level. He hoped for more, saying, hearing you say that makes me want to try fighting him. John proudly asked, he said he would have an undefeated streak of 100. Do you think you can beat him? He had strong faith in him. Meanwhile, Tang He was continuously casting lightning spells, and the notification of leveling up rang out. Hyunyu, feeling exhausted, wiped his forehead and sighed with relief, shouting joyfully. Finally, I've reached a level 50. Tang He, sitting nearby, complained, I'm exhausted, I want to rest. Hyunyu felt a bit disappointed, saying, lightning is a powerful skill, but it consumes too much mana. Let's take a break. He clenched his fists in anticipation. All the equipment had been upgraded, and preparations for the bird were complete. Suddenly, a giant bird landed unexpectedly, startling Hyunyu. He stepped back in shock, realizing it was a PK delivery. The opponent excitedly chimed in, PK. Looking at the small chest in Hyunyu's hands, Kale curiously asked, what's that? A small letter appeared addressed to the Ali Boss. This is a little gift from my boss for you, unrelated to the contract. I hope you like it. I'm really looking forward to Meligo's comeback. Hyunyu opened the chest with a confused expression. It was a shiny armor set that quickly appeared. He swiftly donned the outfit and proudly exclaimed, this is the Black Leopard set I used back when I was Meligo. He sent a request for the arena stream stating, to enter the ranked arena, I need to win 20 matches, so I just need to win 80 more. He was determined to claim the top spot in the arena. Let the whole server know about the return of the legend. In the past, many streaming platforms had crashed simultaneously. With the development of virtual reality games, many issues arose in conveying information during streams on PCs. The time difference in information transmission had not been resolved. Ultimately, the stocks of many streaming platforms had plummeted, but at that time a company bought out all those platforms. QC, the game development company, Arena. The head of the company spoke up. Do people just want to watch streams on screens? Don't you want to watch in the cuppa? This statement from Quincy sparked a revolution in the streaming industry, leading to a system that allowed live streaming in the cuppa to flourish. Additionally, Quincy eliminated the commission fees that the company would take from streamer sponsorships, and sponsorship money would now be paid in gold within Arena instead of cash. During the 2 years Hyunyu served in the military, this was the reason Arena maintained its monopoly in the industry. Looking at the screen, Hyunyu exclaimed in amazement, we haven't even started streaming yet, and there are already thousands in the waiting room. I didn't expect so many people for my first stream. I'm starting to feel a bit nervous, he thought, carefully putting on the mask and resolutely stepping forward. Let's get started. The live stream began, and a flurry of comments appeared. I've been waiting for a long time, Ali Boss. Hello, Ali Boss. Hello, Ali Boss. Let's see you fight those guys. It's going to be epic. Hyunyu cheerfully shouted, hello everyone, I'm the new streamer, and my name is Ali Boss. He worried silently, thinking the first stream of Ali Boss has begun. At that moment, several yellow notification boards suddenly appeared, startling him. Oh, Hyunyu's eyes widened as he continued. Thank you, Jack Love You and Rich Kid from Saigon, has gifted gold. He wondered if these unexpected sponsorships were what Jiang Chan had mentioned to him. He questioned whether this unexpected funding was what Jiang Chan had mentioned to him. I feel a wave of nostalgia as I recall his words. At first, you might feel out of place, but everything will officially kick off when you receive the gold and even have a fan club. Hyun-Yu thought to himself, I guess I've officially started now, right? The viewers were astonished, whispering to each other, is it really possible to give out gold so quickly right from the start? The alley boss was already feeling the pressure trembling as he spoke. As I declared, I will strive to win 100 consecutive matches in this first streaming battle. Some commenters mocked him. On what basis do you think he can win 100 matches in a row? It's as easy as pie, right? With the class of this alley boss, it should be a piece of cake. Hyun-Yu carefully introduced, this is my current level in class. I will proceed with a character that has reached level 50-50, as I mentioned earlier. Hearing this, they exclaimed in surprise, wow, level 50-50 for real. Those previous videos were filmed when he was at that level. Well, that's tough. It's hard to win 100 matches in a row with such a low level. Hyun-Yu confidently announced, now I will enter the arena. The arena has only one method, one-on-one battles. In this vast Roman arena, the winner will be promoted. The loser will be demoted, also known as a ranked match. Who you face will depend on internal criteria. If you keep winning consecutively, you might get a breakthrough promotion. The system announcement rang out, interrupting him. Hyun-Yu thought to himself, the first 20 matches are considered a test for promotion. I heard that a streamer went from rank 400,000 to rank 1 after winning 20 matches in a row. As the ranked match began, he felt a bit tense. The importance of this promotion match was such that people whispered that if it went wrong, they would have to level up the character from scratch. However, Hyun-Yu easily blocked the opponent's attack. This left the opponent momentarily stunned, falling into a disadvantage. Hyun-Yu's opponent was terrified, trembling. What kind of power is this? Hyun-Yu smirked to himself. Usually when entering the arena, you would face someone at level 34. Of course, this is as easy as flipping my hand. At that moment, in another office, a coach suddenly burst in, calling out loudly, Manager Yu. She excitedly asked, do you know who the alley boss is? It's Kang Hyun-Yu. He skeptically replied, Kang Hyun-Yu. Could it be Meligoat, the one who previously declined our offer? The coach confirmed, yes, that Meligoat. Now he's streaming with arena content, he continued. Can we recruit him this time? She hesitated, guessing it might be tough. If he joins another team, can we handle it? Our team only has Hanbik, and that doesn't seem enough. Ujong snapped, I told you not to talk about that here. He worriedly said Hanbik's father is a big shot. What if we upset him, what then? The coach insisted. If the alley boss debuts as a professional gamer, Hanbik won't stand a chance. What do we do? Ujong sighed in frustration. How's the match in the arena going? She honestly replied. He's already won key 40 matches in a row. Hanbik stood aside, shaking with anger. Is that so-called alley boss better than me? Meanwhile, Hyun-Yu was thrilled, cheering, oh yeah, I've won 50 matches in a row. He felt exhausted but relieved. Everyone, I'm now in the top 100,000. One person commented in despair, all I'm facing are these noobs. This is so boring. I'm out. This left Hyun-Yu puzzled, thinking, I won 50 matches in a row too easily. It's like a walk in the park. Is that why everyone feels bored? Hyun-Yu wondered if there was something to spice things up, to keep the viewers from getting bored, right? He suddenly remembered, oh, that's it. I see other people taking on challenges. I was thinking of trying that too. Does anyone know how to do it? The next day, someone immediately donated, and Hyun-Yu, feeling confused, scratched his head and asked me which challenge he preferred. The opponent then requested to have the 51st match with bare hands. He was astonished by that and exclaimed, you want to fight barehanded? Hyun-Yu excitedly asked, how do you know that my left punch can knock someone out and my right punch can kill? With his confidence blazing, everyone started to whisper that the stream would probably end at 50 consecutive wins. Thank you all for tuning in. The Alley King quickly found an opponent to start the ranked match. He looked at the person in front of him, cautiously guessing that the opponent was a spear user and seemed to be at level 70. Please focus on the combat guide. Fighting barehanded is not difficult at all. The opponent, feeling uncomfortable, thought, barehanded? That's game-breaking. The strike was powerful, but fortunately Hyun-Yu managed to dodge it. This scene left him wide-eyed in shock. Hyun-Yu confidently said, for the first strike, you just need to dodge lightly and then quickly attack the opponent's weak spot decisively. His opponent immediately received a stun effect, and Hyun-Yu seized the opportunity to launch a flurry of attacks. As the opponent was stunned, he excitedly tightened his fists. Finally, Hyun-Yu decisively unleashed a move and confidently declared, one punch and he's done. He watched his opponent fly away and asked the audience, what do you think? Hyun-Yu, feeling smug, winked and thought, that was easy, right? The comment section erupted with a fan exclaiming, Professor, listening to your lecture. I wonder if I could pull off bare-handed fighting like that. I knew you would win. Someone unexpectedly commented, I also want to issue a challenge. Hyun-Yu, feeling flustered, scratched his head and said, I'm ready to accept the challenge. Bring it on, everyone. And just like that, his first stream was a huge success. Looking at the mission board in front of him, Hyun-Yu couldn't help but exclaim in joy. Everyone, because I won 90 consecutive matches, I have this mission. If I win 100 matches in a row, I'll receive that title. The comments flooded in. So winning 90 matches in a row gives you a mission, so what? We can't do that anyway. We can't even win 3 matches in a row. Don't even mention 100 matches. Someone unexpectedly donated and Hyunyu joyfully shouted, "If I complete the mission, I'll give you 10,000 gold." But inside he was secretly thrilled. 10,000 gold is 10,000 won. Shortly after Hyunyu found his opponent and the ranked battle began. His opponent was immediately terrified and without hesitation, Hyunyu charged in with his sword, shouting, "Die." Thinking about getting that 10,000 won, the player Kang Hyun Yu claimed victory. Not long after the victory announcement rang out again, Hyunyu excitedly chuckled. 10 million won for me in match 99. He won once more, and Hyunyu, feeling exhausted, wiped the sweat from his brow and joyfully exclaimed, "Finally, I've won 99 matches in a row. Everyone, I just need to win one more match. Then I'll be able to touch that 10,000 won." The audience was left speechless, commenting, "Wow, a greedy ghost. The power of money is truly terrifying." Hyunyu pointed directly at the opponent, challenging them to start the fight with the ultimate goal right away. "Come out, sacrificial lamb, for my 100th win." In the next moment, he was frozen in fear. Hyun, you were shocked to realize that it was none other than the Cobra set. The forum instantly buzzed. If it's the Cobra set, isn't that over level 110, level 109 team must be ranked first? He worriedly thought to himself that the highest level opponent he had faced so far was only level 89. Just 10, and what's more, being over level 100 means that person might have completed their second job already. This opponent could be very dangerous. Then I have no choice but to bring out my ace. Thinking that Hyunyu immediately summoned Tangi, saying, "Come out, Tangi." Tangi cheerfully replied, "Tangi is here." Tangi innocently asked, "Master, what's going on?" The audience was stunned when they saw you. "Oh, Tim, so cute. I'm going to buy some eggs to hatch a pet too." Hyun was amazed, wondering what this reaction was about. Why is Tangi even more famous than me? I see so many people donating. He leaned in close and whispered to Tangi, "There are a lot of people watching us right now, so be careful with what you say." You looked around in a panic and shouted, "Where who's watching?" Tangi, annoyed, scolded the nasty owner for daring to trick him. The audience was commenting, saying he was angry but still adorable. Shouldn't Tangi be a TikToker instead? The thieves are a bunch of dead dogs. The ranked match is starting. His opponent was grumbling, complaining, and Hyun urged Tangi, "Hurry up and let's go." Tangi sulking refused, saying, "Sorry, I'm done." The audience was commenting, "Best so cute, and he can still fight." It seems pretty lame, but it's still one of a kind. He shouted, "I have no choice. Later. I'll let you ride the wooden horse." He replied, "What else can I do? I told you without me, the nasty owner can't do anything." Right after that, Hyun quickly got ready. He confidently thought, "With this, I can easily fight for 5 minutes." The opponent charged at Hyun, who barely managed to defend himself. Before long, he was thrown away. Hyun clenched his teeth in tension. Without Tangi's help, he might have been out in an instant. He fought back wary of each fast and powerful blow. Level 110, ranked first in the arena leaderboard, was indeed not just luck, but he still had one trump card left. Hyun refused to give up. He immediately dashed forward and dealt a painful blow to his opponent, who was caught off guard and wondered why his strength suddenly increased. Seizing the opportunity, Hyun launched a finishing move. But then he realized his strike was too shallow. The opponent, astonished, said, "I keep wondering how someone with such a low level could become my opponent. He praised you, saying you were really skilled." "Is that who you are?" Hyun gritted his teeth in frustration. He thought, "Does he think I'm just a casual player in the arena?" He firmly denied it, saying, "No, I'm a streamer known as the Alley King. I'm live right now and I just need to beat you. Then I can end today's stream." After saying that, Hyun was filled with fighting spirit and said, "So you should lose so I can rest early." As he struck, he worried about the giant's power. There were 2 minutes left for Tangi's help and 3 minutes for his own. If it ran out, his chances of winning would be very slim. Unfortunately, he had too few skills right now. Besides the stun and heavy strike skills, if he just had one more skill, he could fight comfortably. The opponent was pushed to the edge, angrily shouting, "You're getting too cocky." Without hesitation, he angrily struck. Hyun felt uneasy, wondering how to deal with the sword energy. It was too late to dodge now, but if he blocked it, he would definitely lose. An idea suddenly flashed in his mind. So there was only one way. Hyun immediately blocked the attack and skillfully changed the direction of his sword. The scene before him astonished his opponent. "He can block my heavy strike." Just as he was off guard, Hyun decisively launched a finishing move. As he landed, the opponent fell, and a victory notification rang out. Hyun, exhausted, sighed. What a fierce battle. The audience immediately buzzed, "The Alley King." What are you, not human level 50, beating a level 110? Anyway, the thieves are just dead dogs, he thought to himself. I'm so tired. I can't believe I've been live for 10 hours. I need to turn off the stream, take a shower, and go to sleep. Just then, a notification appeared and he was stunned. "Oh," Hyun exclaimed joyfully, "I won. I'm giving you 10,000 gold. Thank you for giving me 9,999 gold." He silently rejoiced. The fatigue had completely washed away. This is the power of money. Tangi stood aside, frightened and backing away, muttering, "What is happening?" Has he lost his mind? Hyun continued, "That's it for today. I'm ending the stream here. The next stream will be at 6 p.m. on Friday. Everyone remember to tune in." As soon as he finished speaking, he vanished, leaving the audience feeling frustrated for giving away 10,000 gold without any performance in return. To record it, just go ahead, but those thieves are still a bunch of useless dogs. That night, Hyun-Yu was exhausted, lying on the sofa. Oh my, I'm so tired I could die. This is definitely not something to be taken lightly. While playing Arena and checking the chat, Young Chan came over to ask if he was really that tired. It should take about a week or two to get used to it. He wondered if you hadn't made a ton of money already. Hyun-Yu immediately sat up. Right, it's my money. Yang Cha quickly opened the computer to check if it could be viewed on the platform, but he suddenly froze, realizing something was off with the numbers. Is it malfunctioning? Hyun-Yu curiously asked how much it was, and immediately the total gold he owned was displayed. He questioned, why do I have 57,384 gold? Yang Chan naively calculated that 1 gold was worth 1,001. The two of them froze for a moment, meaning he earned a whopping 384,001. Hyun-Yu's first live stream marked the emergence of the alley boss, who became a hot topic across many websites. The name of the alley boss spread far and wide, and countless advertisements from sponsors and streaming platforms sought him out, which was no exception in Arena. Marco exclaimed in disbelief, what? The subordinate nervously reported that the funding for the guild had decreased. Also, the sponsors said they wouldn't renew contracts or would reduce the deposits. He angrily slammed the table. How did it come to this? Our guild stocks haven't dropped recently, the opponent stammered, explaining that it was due to a streamer named the Alley Boss. It seems all the sponsors' attention has shifted towards him. The Alley Boss, he asked, suspiciously frowning and questioning, what level is that guy? The subordinate honestly guessed, probably around level 50. He won a match yesterday, so I think he's probably around level 53 at most. Upon hearing this, Marco immediately became furious, growling, only level 50. Recruit him for the guild or destroy him. The subordinate, frightened, stammered, yes, sir. Meanwhile, in another place, a worried sorcerer spoke up about the Emperor of Yusma, revealing his appearance for the first time. They contacted the Behemoth Guild and the New World Guild, the core guilds of the main storyline mission, and then each individual came to meet Emperor Yusma. Compared to us, it seems their relationship with LeBron is also at a high level. What should we do? Guild leader Carrie calmly replied. What else can we do? Of course we need to find the alley boss. Right now, he's in the upper tier of this scene. Hyun-Yu looked at the announcement board excitedly, exclaiming, what a great reward this title is useful from PvP to castle sieges, he hoped, looking at the shiny ring in his hand. And above all, who would have thought that this reward ring would be part of the same set as the ring he received during the newbie tutorial. Thanks to a unique ring, all stats were boosted. Indeed, someone destined for success will succeed no matter what. He smiled to himself. Tanji curiously asked, why are you laughing like a madman? What's with you? Why are you so happy watching me eat, Hyun-Yu? Cheerfully replied, exactly. Just seeing you eat makes me happy. You skeptically said, you're different from usual today. He proudly looked at Tanji, thinking to himself, I didn't expect Tanji to receive so much love from everyone. I'll definitely take him along for the live streams from now on. Plus, I still have rewards yet to be claimed from the Emperor. I wonder what kind of item it is. With the title of Emperor, it must be something worthy, right? Hyun-Yu excitedly said to Tanji, let's stop by the palace after you finish eating. You happily asked, next we'll get to eat palace food, right? A little while later, the two of them had moved to the palace, where Alexander exclaimed, expecting to ask if they had arrived already. Why are we back so soon when it hasn't even been a week? Looks like you're quite capable. Just like LeBron said, huh? Hyun-Yu shivered and bowed to thank His Majesty. He thought to himself, even if the stats increased, the Emperor would still be a monster, at least 200. No, it must be 300 for me to even stand straight. He immediately threw him a treasure and said, take this and go. Alexander instructed him to carry that marble and find Andre, the one in the RT desert, and I've heard reports that the rebel forces in the desert are growing stronger. Saying this, he furiously ordered, there must be some insolent fools again. You need to find out everything about those involved with the rebel army. A mission was immediately assigned. Hyun-Yu turned pale and accepted the order, saying he would try to gather information as quickly as possible. He silently cursed, if you didn't put this damn pressure on me, would you even be able to talk? The RT desert area was opened up thanks to the first main quest of the arena that appeared when Hyun-Yu completed the main quest while still being Maligo, which was the RT desert. The desert scorpions were momentarily frightened and retreated. Taking advantage of that, Tanji launched a lightning strike, and Hyun-Yu ambushed from behind, delivering the finishing blow. Victory announcements rang out continuously. He turned to Tanji satisfied and asked, the experience points are definitely not to be complained about, right? Tanji excitedly replied, I feel stronger now. Master. After saying that, Hyun-Yu anxiously looked around and said, no matter what, Rifa doesn't have a teleportation paper, so I have to walk across this gigantic desert. Tanji wondered, where exactly is that guy, Master? He pointed far away, guessing it must be somewhere in that city of Rifa. He was annoyed and snapped, is that really Tanji from Jack? Not even sure about that. Hyun-Yu forced a smile to reassure him, don't worry too much, Tanji, because your master is quite lucky. Looking at the figure before him, he cautiously judged that person must have found their way from over there. The next moment, Android's face froze as the scene shifted to a large city in the desert. Here, Andres asked in astonishment, what is this? This must definitely be from His Majesty. He joyfully exclaimed, what a coincidence to meet you while I was on patrol. I must give you a reward worthy of being sent by His Majesty. Hyun-Yu excitedly clenched his fists, thrilled that he was about to receive a reward. Android then took out a book and handed it to him, saying, "This is the Crescent/skill book." Hyun-Yu immediately joyfully accepted it, as it was a technique that could help him attack from close to far just when he was lacking attack skills. If I use it correctly, my hunting speed could double. He quickly regained his composure, realizing he was a bit too excited. Hyun-Yu cleared his throat and continued, Mr. Andres, may I ask if you know anything about the rebel army? He immediately gasped, "How do you know about that?" Hyun-Yu replied, "The reason I came here is to deliver evidence from the Emperor, but I also received orders to investigate the rebel army." Andres understood. It seems His Majesty trusts you a lot. He proactively handed him a map, saying, "Then take a look at this. This is the map I drew. While investigating the RT Desert, people suspect 3 marked locations." Opening the map, Hyun-Yu couldn't help but be surprised that Rifa City was also marked. He admitted, "That's right. I think there are allies of theirs in Rifa City. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to secretly transport a massive amount of supplies out." Andres hoped, "I hope you can safely complete this reconnaissance mission on the rebel army." Hyun-Yu determinedly replied, "Please leave it to me." The 3 marked locations on Andres' map were Rifa City, the Toma tribe, and Lake Bryan. Among those 3, the easiest to deal with would be the Toma tribe. This was a level 90 hunting ground, primarily inhabited by desert scorpions and desert goblins. Hyun-Yu walked while calculating that near the Toma tribe in the Maligo era, there was a secret that only he knew which would become the key to this mission. At this moment, Tanji was lying lazily against a rock, looking confused and asking, "Master, what are you doing standing here?" Hyun-Yu suddenly asked him, "Tanji, do you trust me?" Tanji hesitated and exclaimed, "Huh." The next moment, he suddenly jumped down, and Tanji shouted in shock, "What are you doing?" "Master, Hyun-Yu smugly thought to himself, if I can complete this mission to Miha, then I can definitely widen the gap with the players doing the main quest. I wonder what the next reward waiting for me is." The smug Master Hyun-Yu thought to himself, if he could complete this mission, then he could definitely widen the gap with those players who were making the right moves. He wondered what the next reward waiting for him would be. And just like that, the 2 of them fell straight into the giant cactus, crying out in pain. For the past 2 years, countless adventurers have passed through the Eriti Desert, but no one has been able to find the dungeon. Hyun-Yu discovered it back when he was still a Meligot, so it must be here. Hyun-Yu pointed at the cactus and shouted, "This time it has to be here." The hero charged forward to attack, but Tang-hee quickly stopped him. "Wait." Hyun-Woo then fell face first into the ground. Tang-hee confused questioned, "Are you crazy? Why on earth did you dive into the cactus?" He explained in frustration, "The dungeon is hidden in one of these cacti." "You can't be serious," Tang-hee replied. "Just 5 minutes ago you were covered in thorns. You must be out of your mind. If not, then stop talking." Hyun-Woo shoved Tang-hee's head down. "Oh, speaking of which," Hyun-Yu suddenly threw Tang-hee towards the cactus. "I almost forgot about this." He angrily cursed, "You crazy master." But then something strange happened. Tang-hee passed right through the thorny barrier. Hyun-Yu exclaimed in satisfaction, "It worked." Without hesitation, he entered the dungeon. Wow, looking around, Hyun-Yu marveled. "It's been a while, so I don't remember it clearly, but we finally arrived. A hidden desert within the Erti Desert." Tang-hee, sulking in a corner, grumbled, "You said you loved me, but threw me into a cactus, you crazy master." Hyun-Yu quickly reassured him, "I'm sorry, Tang-hee. I won't do that again." "Shut up." But he resolutely turned away. "Don't talk to me, you crazy master." Hyun-Yu suddenly froze. "Huh? A mutated desert lizard? Is there such a monster? I've never heard of it." "I've never seen this monster before. It must be a boss type that I hunted recently. It's a dragon-type monster, a forest ruler called the Komodo dragon, I think." He looked at the creature thinking the Komodo dragon is about 20 meters tall, but this one is only about 5 meters, so it doesn't look that big. Still, this time is just like the last. First, let's see how it goes. Hyun-Yu charged in without hesitation to attack, but his sword couldn't pierce its armor. Hyun-Yu wondered, is it really that tough? He speculated that considering its strength, power, and speed, it might be level 100 or more. If I don't use my strength wisely, I won't be able to penetrate its scales. Out of options, Hyun-Yu called out, "Tang-hee, you sulking again?" He quickly proposed, "How about a 4-hour ride on a wooden horse?" Tang-hee, satisfied, replied, "Fine, I'll let you off this time." After saying that, Tang-hee quickly gathered all his strength for him. Hyun-Yu tightened his grip on the sword and struck down hard on the monster's tough armor. It immediately cried out in pain. Hyun-Yu was startled, thinking, "I did some damage." A monster suddenly ran off in a panic, leaving him stunned. Hyun-Yu was dragged away mercilessly by the creature. Tang-hee, seeing this, scolded, "You crazy master, why did you leave me behind and start riding it alone? Let me join you." Hearing this, Hyun-Yu couldn't help but feel annoyed. How did you think this was rodeo? At that moment, Hyun-Yu suddenly noticed something strange. What's this?" He excitedly laughed. "Could it be?" Without hesitation, Hyun-Yu immediately launched a fatal blow at the desert lizard. At that moment, Hyun-Yu shouted, "Let's finish this." The monster was thrown back, and Hyun-Yu wasn't in great shape either. He fell to the ground, gasping for breath. Even though he gained a lot of experience points, he was exhausted. But I probably can't hunt anymore. Since I've discovered their weakness, it should be easier next time. Still, finding a new monster like this is good. I can use it for livestream content. Hyunyu cheerfully laughed, "I need Alice to help make a new clip." When he sent the video of himself with the Emperor, Alice swore that if it was Hyunyu's video, she would edit it for free for life. And once again, Alice felt that her vow was absolutely true. Watching the footage, she exclaimed in amazement, "Wow, the courage to take on a monster was such a level difference." Quite impressive, and he even managed to figure out the monster's weakness. He was so thrilled, he could barely contain himself. Taking on the editing for the alley boss was indeed a wise choice. The alley boss is truly top-notch. Let's review it one more time, and then make the video. Time flies. Today is already Friday, the day Hyunyu has to stream, as previously announced. The video of hunting the mutated desert lizard was uploaded on Friday morning. It made viewers feel so anxious to watch today's live stream that they were commenting like crazy. At this rate, he might even hunt better than the pros. I wonder if we can compare him to Jung Hanbek. Of course not, he's on a whole different level. Hyunyu read the comments and couldn't help but laugh. I wonder how that jerk Jung Hanbek would react to these comments. He quickly put on his mask and said, "Today, I'm feeling full of energy. It seems like today is the best day I've felt since I started playing Arena." About 50,000 viewers have joined, so let's get this live started immediately. Hyunyu appeared with a different expression, bright and open, saying, "Hello everyone, I'm the king of the alley." Tangi looked ahead and greeted, "Let's give you a wooden horse for 30 minutes. The audience cheered. "Hello, hi Tanji," he continued. "As you saw in the video posted this morning, today's content will be about my solo boss hunt. The lizard that appeared in that video, I found the location of their leader." The audience went wild at this announcement. What did he just say? Did I hear that wrong? Nope, you heard right. Today he's hunting the boss alone. Anyway, those thieves are still dead dogs. A series of donation notifications rang out and Hyunyu happily thanked everyone. "Thank you all for the gold. I won't be able to react to everyone. If you donate gold while I'm hunting the boss, please be patient. If anyone wants to donate, wait until I finish the boss. After the boss is done, feel free to donate, even though some people complain that my reactions are lackluster. Why are you reacting so half-heartedly? But if I don't respond, I feel bad." At this point, he suddenly paused, looking up and said, "From now on, I probably can't see the chat content anymore." Hyunyu explained, "Because I need to focus on playing with this mutated desert dragon that just appeared in front of me." It was furious, spreading its wings and soaring into the sky. Hyunyu excitedly exclaimed, "Guys, that's the boss, it's huge, but a few hours later it'll be lying flat on the ground, so don't worry." He confidently thought to himself, "I've done my research. There's probably a weak spot behind its neck." Hyunyu decided to start by attacking the common weak point of dragons and those monsters, which is to strike from a distance. Without hesitation, he immediately unleashed a powerful crescent strike, and the mutated desert dragon was momentarily stunned. Seizing the opportunity, Hyunyu charged in, directly confronting the giant monster. He proudly declared, "My solo dragon boss hunt officially begins." The status window popped up and Hyunyu leveled up to 63, ready to raid the boss. This means conquering high difficulty bosses in the game. In a typical boss raid, the team usually includes a tank to draw enemy attention, a dealer to deal damage over time, and a healer to restore health. Each person must perform their role well to shorten the time and reduce the failure rate of the raid. That's the standard method for a boss raid. Therefore, until now, no one has dared to attempt or succeeded in soloing a boss. At this moment, Hyunyu was facing the mutated desert dragon alone, continuously launching attacks at it. Very quickly, Hyunyu gained the upper hand. He sped up, and in the blink of an eye, he dealt a critical hit to the monster. The monster was hit hard and stunned temporarily. Hyunyu gritted his teeth in frustration. Once again, he recklessly charged at the monster, but Hyunyu was quickly pushed back. The audience was in an uproar. Wow, it's already been 3 hours. Hunting monsters for 3 hours is exhausting enough. Continuous fighting for 3 hours would probably make him vomit on the spot. Don't tell me he's going to successfully solo the boss. If that's true, it could be said that the best control skills in Arena belong to the king of the alley. After the raid began, Hyunyu maintained an incredible level of focus, just like when encountering a new monster for the first time. Just like during his first encounter with a new monster. And the joy of completing the main scene at the front lines while still being a Meligot, thanks to that memory, the feelings of his golden age are gradually being awakened. He thought to himself, feeling tense that he had exhausted all his mana. Now he couldn't use Crescent Slash to stop it from gathering energy anymore. Whether he had mana or not would determine the success or failure of this raid. Hyunyu was determined to recover his mana at all costs. Tanji sat on his shoulder, annoyed, scolding his stubborn master. It had been 3 hours already. He declared loudly, "I'm going on strike now." Hyunyu quickly reassured him, "We're about to finish it." He cautiously speculated, drawing from his experience of raiding bosses hundreds, even thousands of times before, that the dragon was now exhausted. The failure of the monster suddenly darted away, causing the audience to gasp in shock. Even the boss was running away. Hyunyu watched it go, his face blank. It wasn't running away. The mutated desert dragon was spreading its wings, flying in the air. He explained tensely, this is its final phase. The gigantic wings immediately spread out, unleashing a terrifying attack. Tanji was so scared he froze. Hyunyu quickly dodged back just in time, and Tanji exclaimed in panic, "So fast, oh my god." From afar, the desert dragon appeared with his 2 glowing red eyes. He whispered in fear, "Master, let me retreat." Can you put me back in? At that moment, the monster suddenly jumped up, continuously leaping around. Tanji sobbed. Why has its speed suddenly become so fast, Master? Why are you just standing there? Why aren't you answering? Hyunwoo pondered silently. All the bosses in the game had their own unique ways of being defeated. First, he had to understand their different actions before he could attack their weaknesses. And applying this in his own way was the joy of being a player. Now, Hyunwoo stood still for a moment, his face emotionless as the monster rushed towards him. He focused all his senses. He needed to read the dragon's movements, and very quickly the mutated dragon suddenly appeared behind him. Hyunwoo's anger flared as he glared at the monster, which lunged to bite down, crushing the ground beneath it. But then in the next second it halted. The monster, horrified, realized that Hyunwoo and Tanji had quietly vanished. At this moment, he shot up from the ground. Hyunwoo quietly called out to Tanji, who wondered what he meant. He suggested, aim for the weak spot behind its neck, then unleash a lightning strike. As soon as he finished speaking, Tanji obediently followed. The mutated desert dragon was electrocuted, screaming in agony. Hyunwoo seized the opportunity to position himself, pushing off the ground with all his strength to jump high, then channeled all his remaining mana into his sword. Tanji was immediately thrown back. Ugh! Hyun, who resolutely charged at the dragon, his teeth clenched in fury. Now die. He unleashed a strike aimed directly at its weak point, appearing like a god in an instant. The monster groaned in pain and victory notifications rang out continuously. Hyunwoo, exhausted, gripped his sword tightly, thinking to himself, finally, I've defeated it. Just as he relaxed a bit, all the fatigue from the past hours rushed over him. Thinking back, he realized he had been intensely focused for 3 hours straight, which was no small feat. From afar, Tanji rushed over, calling out, Master! Hyunwoo immediately snapped back to reality. Tanji kicked him in the face, scolding, Who told you to do that? You suddenly turned around and made me fall hard. The audience chimed in with comments. The boss in the alley. Hey, didn't you check the content? I'm dizzy now. You better check the content. Hyunwoo, feeling helpless, lay flat on the ground asking, I'm so tired. Can I just lie down and chat? Is that okay? The audience responded, Anyway, the thief and its fans are still a bunch of dead dogs. I really admire you. The boss in the alley is equivalent to a desert dragon. Its combat power is insane. It's not even human anymore. Where did he get that crescent slash from? Continuous donation notifications rang out. Tanji was still resentful, scolding, Master, I punish you to let me ride a wooden horse. Hyunwoo, exhausted, laughed. Now I feel like I'm on cloud 9. Thus, the raid was a huge success. Hyunwoo stood up relieved. Today's live stream was also very successful. He sighed. 3 hours of focus, I'm so tired. Looking at the treasure in his hands, he couldn't help but feel satisfied. It was worth it to raid this. I need to quickly organize the items I got from the raid and then go rest. Just then a sudden voice called out, Found your boss in the alley. Hyunwoo jumped, standing still. Oh, I'm embarrassed. He scratched his head thinking, am I so famous that fans come looking for me like this? Hyunwoo wondered, are you guys my fans? You came all the way here to meet me? This makes me feel awkward. The other party bluntly denied, we're not fans, we're the Manu Guild. We have a proposal for your boss in the alley. Come join our guild, it'll leave Hyunwoo speechless. Hyunwoo muttered in confusion about the Manu Guild, wondering which guild that was, and the other person immediately snapped, you don't know our guild. Hyunwoo sighed and scratched his ear saying, so you guys aren't my fans? I don't care what guild it is, but why are you talking to me like that on our first meeting? After saying that, he decisively walked away. I don't know what the Manu Guild is, and I have no intention of joining your guild, which made him show a face that clearly meant rejection. The members of the Manu Guild immediately surrounded him, and if that's the case, there's no other choice left. They were taking advantage of their strength to bully the weak, pulling out weapons to intimidate Hyunwoo. He thought to himself, are they planning to duel me? Looking at their gear, they must be at least level 110. Just when he was tired and had to fight against such a large number, a voice suddenly rang out from afar. You're in trouble now, aren't you? Hyunwoo looked up in surprise, seeing a man on the high cliff jump down. Junho appeared with a confident demeanor, saying, finally, I have something for me to do. He quickly bowed respectfully. It's a pleasure to meet you, the boss of the alley. I'm Yoon Junho, a sitter under this guild. Hyunwoo asked in confusion. Sitter Ananai? And quickly realized. You're the one Kale mentioned. Junho nodded. Yes, I'm responsible for resolving issues and concerns for the star players under Nai, which is a kind of caretaker. The players from the Manu Guild, not knowing the danger, shouted, Who the hell are you? Junho glanced at him and asked, From what I see, you guys are causing trouble for our customers, right? First, I'd like to make a very polite suggestion. I'll let you leave here, on the condition that you stop loitering around our customer. But in response, they still didn't get the hint and started cursing. We have business to discuss with the boss of the alley. The leader decided, let's just kill both of them. Junho sighed in frustration. Honestly, it would be better if you accepted my goodwill. Let me handle things here. The boss of the alley drew his sword and charged at the opponents who numbered 9. I won't keep you waiting long. I'll deal with this lot in 3 minutes. The first guy as soon as he faced him. He was quickly taken down in an instant. Junho widened his eyes at the leader who was astonished. What the hell? Before he could finish, Junho suddenly rushed at him. You're the leader, right? The guy immediately fell into a passive position asking, What? The leader was instantly subdued and his minions rushed over. Junho threatened, if it's the Manu Guild, that's a very large and famous guild. While saying this, he tortured the guy. Honestly, I'm quite curious. I wonder what the members of this guild are like. Witnessing the loss of their leader, Hyun-Yu felt tense, thinking to himself, who will send someone to follow me? I'm curious about how skilled that person is. But at this moment, I had to admit that this guy is really good. His level's much higher than mine. But if we were at the same level, he definitely wouldn't be my opponent. After a while, the last member of the Manu Guild was dealt with by Junho. He turned back to Hyun-Yu with a bright smile. Sorry to keep you waiting, boss of the alley. Hyun-Yu was astonished, exclaiming, You're really impressive. He humbly denied it, You're overpraising me. Hearing that from him made me feel a bit embarrassed. He wondered, Your level must be really high, right? Junho honestly replied, My current level is 170. Hyun-Yu exclaimed in shock, Level 170? Aren't you a ranker at that level? So rankers also do these kinds of things. Junho laughed. Just because my level is high doesn't mean I can rake in money. Besides, if I don't earn money to buy diapers for my kid and keep my head buried in this game, I'll get kicked out of the house. If you're the boss of the alley, you must understand my situation. Right, Hyun-Yu nodded in understanding, thinking to himself, having a wife doesn't mean you can give up gaming. He's truly a gamer. The two then awkwardly looked at each other. Getting married is a good thing. You know, I understand. It's truly a soulmate. A few days later, Hyun-Yu and Tangi walked tiredly across the desert. As he walked, he sighed, In the end, I've wasted my efforts on this Timur tribe. Since the dragon raid, I've searched for days, but all I've found are goblins. I still haven't found anyone from the rebel army. If only I could find something at Lake Bryan, it would be great. Tangi, frustrated, scolded, I'm dying of heat here. What are you calling me out here for, if you're not going to fight? Hyun-Yu replied casually, It's boring to walk alone. I call you out to share the suffering and have some fun. This made Tangi furious, and he kicked him, saying, Is that all? Just admit it. You're torturing me for such a silly reason. Hyun-Yu pretended to be upset, but playing solo can be really boring sometimes. He suddenly stopped when he saw large footprints in the ground. Huh, Hyun-Yu wondered, footprints and wheel tracks. Could it be that on that night at a high-end building, Tianhao asked in shock, You're stopping my stream sponsorship. The voice on the other end explained, This is a directive from the headquarters. We hope you can remove our ads from your stream. Tianhao immediately shouted, I told you I don't need the money. I just wanted to put up a poster ad. The other party continued, I've relayed that to my superiors, but we received a directive saying that the alley boss fits our company's image better. Sorry to bring you this bad news. Then I'll hang up now. The conversation ended. Tianhao repeatedly threw his phone to the floor, muttering, Not suitable, that guy is nothing compared to me. You dare talk down to me? Liu Shui suddenly spoke up from behind. Did you just mention the alley boss? He boldly asked, Isn't the alley boss the one who has won 100 consecutive matches in the rookie arena recently? Tianhao replied irritably, Liu Shui from Porter unilaterally cancelled the advertising contract. Liu Shui speculated, Could it be they planned to choose the alley boss as a replacement, which is why they cancelled the contract with you? I can't believe they think that kid can replace a famous streamer like you. Porter really has no eye for talent. What are you going to do? How about I step in for you? Liu Shui offered. Tianhao hesitated. If your 9-long team helps out, I'd definitely appreciate it. Let me send a few more people from my side. Liu Shui bluntly refused. No need. He arrogantly continued. Aren't we long-time brothers? Let me handle this directly for you. Dealing with punks like that is my specialty. You don't need to worry. Meanwhile, Hyun-Yu was running and shouting. The footprints have disappeared at this big rock. He looked suspiciously at the cave before him, wondering if it was covered by an illusion, like when he entered the cactus. Hyun-Yu happily exclaimed, So you guys are hiding here? I've found the rebel army's base. Hyun-Yu looked at the scene before him, unable to help but marvel. Wow, this rebel base looks impressive. Is it a castle or a village? It's probably both. Quietly walking, Hyun-Yu thought, with weapons and medicine, they've moved these supplies for war. He wondered, but why hasn't the mission completion notification appeared? Do I need to investigate further? Suddenly a person appeared and shouted, Hey, what are you doing sneaking around that cart? Hyun-Yu was startled, thinking, Oh no, I've been too careless. The man's face was blank. Hey, that bear over there? Are you Adele, the disciple that Sir Felion mentioned? Hyun looked at him with a moment of doubt, thinking, Where have I heard this name Adele before? Then it hit him. If it's Adele, that's the name of the dark sorcerer I defeated. When teaming up with Yuji and Youngjun, right? Hyun quickly replied, Yes, I'm the disciple of Master Felion. My name is Adele. This bear is my life's masterpiece. It's the Chimera. Pepe hurriedly denied, I'm Tan, but luckily you managed to cover his mouth just in time. He joyfully exclaimed, BP is exactly as Master Felion said. Tanji stubbornly insisted, That filthy human. BP what? Tanji. Hyun, on the other hand, smiled and continued, Yes, I came here to meet my master. The man took the lead, saying, Master Ferlin is managing the Chimera in the big prison at the center of the camp. If he knows you're here, he'll be very happy. Hyun joyfully said, Thank you. The man smugly whispered, Thanks then. That brat, I didn't expect this connection. At this moment, Tangi kept punching and kicking. Ha, I'm Tangi, not BB. A moment later, in a sturdy castle, a shadowy figure appeared on the observation tower. Yes, Felion asked irritably, So you mean the kingdom might intervene? The voice on the other end replied, Yes, that's correct. He joyfully commanded, Then we must hurry to carry out everything as quickly as possible. and gather all the dark sorcerers in the south. The Lord of Rifa has decided to stand with us. 3 days after receiving the signal from the Lord of Rifa, we will advance to Rifa and attack the enemy fiercely. The others wondered, what about the preparations? The old man reassured him, saying there was no need to worry. He had gathered hundreds of Andes and Chimeras already. We just need to pray for the god of luck to smile upon us. Feline suddenly turned around startled as the old man angrily questioned someone. A skull flickered away, leaving Feline puzzled as he clearly sensed a human presence. But had he made a mistake? Meanwhile, in another place, Hyunyu was desperately running away, feeling relieved that he almost got caught. Turns out the Lord of Rifa is the traitor. That's quite a twist. 3 days, huh? I need to hurry up. As he reached an alley, he suddenly bumped into someone. The other person cried out in pain. Ouch, my hip. At the same time, the guards had caught up shouting, "What's all this noise?" Hyunyu cursed under his breath. Damn it. He felt tense, wondering what to do next. Edgar quickly recognized the sword, and at that moment, 2 guards threatened him from the other side. Turn your face this way. Hyunyu thought nervously, do I have to fight? Just then, a large hand unexpectedly pushed his head down. Ed Chan spoke up. I'm sorry, my assistant made a mistake and dropped the weapon we were transporting. I apologize for causing everyone trouble. One of them suspiciously recognized him as the dwarf from the weapon crafting room. Right. He clicked his tongue and turned away. Don't make a fuss. Hyunyu was in pain on the verge of tears, wondering, what is this? An NPC helped me. Ed Chan skeptically asked, where did you get that sword? After a while, the 2 of them arrived at a forge. They gathered around a small table and Ed Chan excitedly laughed. This is definitely the sword I made. I can't believe I met someone using a sword I crafted here. It's nice to meet a decent person in this place. Hyunyu looked at them curiously and asked, you guys are set up as people kidnapped by the rebel army and forced to craft weapons for them, right? He was puzzled. What do you mean by set up? But to sum it up, Hyunyu keenly thought to himself, this smells like a quest. He introduced himself. I'm an adventurer, on the opposite side of those who kidnapped you. If you both agree, I can help you escape from here. Ed Chan felt a bit soft-hearted. Escape, huh? That doesn't sound too bad. The dwarf next to him quickly interrupted. Chief, shouldn't we just stay put and wait? Didn't they promise to release us after this is over? He was getting frustrated. You believe the words of the ones who kidnapped us. They'll definitely do everything they can to keep us locked up here. Just wait and see. Ed Chan immediately turned to Hyunyu, grinning. I'll accept your offer, but I can't leave behind the weapons I've made. They're my children, he said without hesitation. Just leave it to me. He felt pleased, thinking, a quest with a reward sounds like another task. He was really looking forward to that final reward. Meanwhile, at some tavern in the Yusma Empire, Vecho and Carrie were tense present at the scene. Across from them, the 2 girls were arguing, and Carrie said sternly, so are you saying you want to carry out this mission with us? CEO John replied irritably, I've already said that. Are you going to ask again and again? She was flustered, interrogating about the information related to the main scene, which was confidential even to those in the guild. Compared to the New World Grand Guild, our Phoenix Guild is still lagging behind in the main mission. What's the purpose of you doing this? He hesitated to explain. Well, I want to widen the gap with other guilds. That's why I'm doing it. Aren't our circumstances similar? Besides, I heard the Phoenix Guild is targeting the alley boss, right? Forget about that idea. The reason I asked your guild to undertake this mission is because of this. The snail car narrowed its eyes, questioning her. You understand what I'm saying, right? Carrie felt a pang of anxiety, thinking to herself, is he trying to create a conflict between the guilds? The alley boss is related to the New World, huh? If we go against the New World, the Phoenix Guild won't have a future at all. She reluctantly agreed. I understand. His facial muscles relaxed. Oh, really? In his heart, the snail John silently cursed. What a petty person. All of them are so boring. The news about the cooperation between the New World Grand Guild and the Phoenix Guild had already caused a stir in the arena community. Immediately, it sparked a frenzy in the arena community, with many predictions and interests focused on this. Arena players were speculating that both guilds would monopolize the main mission. However, the next day, a video stirred up the arena community. Junggu rushed over, calling out, hey, what's going on? His expression puzzled CEO John. What's happening that's causing such a commotion? He nervously continued. Have you seen the video that was posted in the community? It's that alley boss CEO Jong was instantly startled. The video opened with Hyunyu smiling and waving. Hello everyone, I'm the alley boss. In a situation where large guilds are monopolizing the main mission, I think many people will lack the courage to continue participating in the main mission. However, I, the alley boss, have prepared something for you. At this point, he suddenly winked and shouted, that's right, I will publicly disclose part of the information I have about the main mission. Those who are interested in the main mission, please gather at Rifa City in 3 days. Hearing this, the snail Yong was ecstatic. What is this? Even with money, you can't buy information about the main mission yet. He's offering it for free to everyone. He was curious, wondering what trick he was planning. Brother, you must be planning something interesting, right? Over here, Hyunyu repeatedly reminded. Remember well, 3 days from now, at Rifa City, at that magnificent castle. Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out. So, Alexander, did you harvest anything? Hyunyu honestly replied, Your Majesty, I have located the position of the rebel forces in the Uriti Desert. They have been hiding at Bryan Lake and using magic to conceal the entrance. He wondered, "Your expression seems more relaxed every day." He confidently replied, "It's all thanks to you, Your Majesty." The king silently cursed that damn emperor. Hyunyu continued, "While sneaking in, I freed the dwarves held captive by the rebels and cut off their weapons supply." Alexander asked further, "Did you find out anything about the traitor?" He calmly replied, "The Count, the Lord of Rifa City, is colluding with them. They said they would attack Rifa City in 3 days when everything is ready." He quickly understood. "I see." Alexandra, satisfied, reflected, "I sent many adventurers to bring back information, but in the end, none of them compared to you alone." Hyunyu was startled, shifting. "Is my body lighter now?" He continued, "Then I will give the final order. Help Andres stop the rebel attack from the west." Thus, a new mission was established. Hyunyu respectfully bowed. "I understand, Your Majesty." He thought to himself, "This time the reward is a unique item. This is the final mission." Looking at the computer screen, Hyunyu exclaimed in astonishment, "Oh, brother. No wonder the president of the New World Guild is so powerful." The New World Guild and the Phoenix Guild have been assigned to the city of Cassia in the south, while the place I'm in charge of is the city of Rifa in the west. Thinking about this, I can't help but feel frustrated. We're seriously lacking manpower here. How can I possibly carry out such a large-scale mission alone? Suddenly, Hyunyu's eyes widened as he had a devious smile. "I might have a way. If things go well, I could gather at least the minimum required manpower. Let's see if I can leverage my reputation a bit." A little while later, news of Hyunyu sharing information about the main scene spread rapidly throughout the arena community, boosting the fame of the alley boss significantly, and that fame would soon be evident. During Hyunyu's live stream in 3 days, he thought to himself, the viewership has doubled compared to usual. With a smile, he greeted, "Hello everyone, it's the alley boss again. Today I'm going to talk about the main scene that everyone is so curious about." A flurry of comments appeared quickly, but really, are you going to let us tag along? This isn't just talk, right? I only trust the alley boss. If it's true, Hyunyu confidently asserted, "Of course it's not a lie. Today there will be a siege battle in Rifa, and the mission is to protect Rifa from the rebels. It's a bit unfortunate that due to arena system regulations, I can't share the mission details. However, compared to doing this solo for a one-time mission, I think it would be much better to carry it out with everyone, which is why I'm sharing this. This only fueled public debate. So he can't play alone and is asking us for help, huh? This guy loves to twist the truth. It's not every day you get a chance to join a siege battle. He's letting us tag along and you still can't appreciate it. That jealous guy is secretly pleased as everyone is reacting positively." Just as I expected, Hanyu continued, "From now on, I'll start the mission to proceed with the main scene." Meanwhile, in another location, a large number of rebels had been defeated. Andres yelled, "You bastard! The king entrusted you with Rifa, and yet you dare to collude with the rebels. Count, please. How could someone like you understand my position? Someone trusted by the emperor like you will never grasp my stance." With that, he desperately commanded the troops to advance. On the other hand, Hyunyu was casually munching on popcorn, and the audience was thrilled thinking that normally they had to pay to watch, but now they could see it for free. It's worth it to follow the alley boss's stream, but where did the popcorn come from? A fierce battle erupted right before his eyes, and Hyunyu thought to himself, "Even though I know these are preset skins, this battle is indeed exciting." Andres is really fired up. At this rate, don't expect everything to end boringly with Andres' victory. "Come on, give it your all, Count." Andres was pushed to the brink, gritting his teeth in anger. He immediately charged at Andres, asserting that without his existence, victory would have been mine already. Andres firmly rebutted, "Even if it weren't me, someone else would stop you. Stop being so stubborn. Don't obstruct me." "Andres, how long are you going to pretend to be noble? If you were in my position, you'd act just like I am." At that moment, Andres unexpectedly threw him aside. He glared angrily. "Don't think we're the same." With that, he swiftly struck a fatal blow to him, causing him to cough painfully. Before taking his last breath, he regretfully whispered, Alexander." Andres, annoyed, cut him off. "Don't you dare speak the king's name with that filthy mouth." Hyunyu, standing aside, was astonished and clapped. "Wow, Andres is so cool." He turned to Hyunyu, thanking him. "Thank you for assigning me to handle the count. But why are you wearing a mask?" Hyunyu awkwardly explained, "It's just a principle of my belief." The audience burst into laughter. The alley boss, Andres added. "We've completed the first step. Now all that's left is to punish the army that this treacherous traitor Andres has gathered. I need your help. Let's protect the city of Rifa together." Looking at the hands in front of him, he thought to himself, "Finally, it's my turn." At the same time, near the desert close to Rifa, an unfortunate player found himself cornered. What is this? He wondered what kind of monster it was, just as a large number of Andes charged towards him. Before long, he met a tragic end. On the high walls of the city, a soldier noticed something unusual. He suspiciously told his teammate that in the distance, a blurry flag was appearing rapidly, pulling along an entire army. The Andes finally showed up with a massive force, and Hyunyu exclaimed in astonishment, "Wow." He scratched his head, feeling overwhelmed. There were so many more than he expected. What should he do now? Andres turned to him and asked, "Are you worried we won't win?" Hyunyu replied, "Not at all. I'm actually worried about something else. I didn't expect so many people to show up. Don't tell me they're going to steal my prey." A large number of players suddenly appeared at that moment facing them. It was a massive undead force. In the blink of an eye, both sides were ready to fight. The main mission of the arena, the Siege of Rifa, had begun. The Andes rushed in like ants after their nest was disturbed, gripping their swords tightly. Andres shouted, "Help me!" A large number of mages responded in unison. "We will use all our magic to support you, Lord Andres." Terrible explosions followed one after another. Looking at the devastation before him, Andres swore in frustration. Damn it, this is just the Andes army and they're already this strong. He thought to himself, even though magic was being used with this many enemies, it wouldn't make much difference. On top of that, the main rebel army behind them hadn't made a move yet. He wondered if they could hold out until the Night Squad, led by Duke LeBron, arrived. Just then, a holy light suddenly shone down and a large number of players appeared instantly. "Get out of the way, old man. With so many monsters here, we can level up like crazy." Andres was momentarily speechless. "What?" The players started arguing. "Don't steal from me." "What are you talking about? I hit it first." One player grinned, thinking he would level up twice today. Another group rushed in without hesitation. "That zombie orc is mine, Fireball." "I told you to aim for it first." When Andres exclaimed in horror, "What the hell is this?" Moments later, a gigantic mammoth appeared with Felion sitting on it anxiously cursing. "What the hell is going on? Why are there so many adventurers here according to the original plan? The Lord the Count was supposed to open the gates and we would take Rifa smoothly without any losses. How did this information leak out?" Thinking of this, he couldn't help but feel furious, grinding his teeth. "Damn it!" Felion shouted angrily. "Release that to crush all those adventurers." His subordinates immediately complied. Understood, Lord Felion. A large number of dark mages began to channel their powers. The players, unaware of anything, continued to fight. He was excited and laughed. "Hey, I thought the main scene would be tough, but it turns out it's nothing special compared to what I thought." But then the very next second, they were all suddenly restrained. What is this, a magic circle on the ground? A series of players were caught, and a giant chimera appeared. He panicked and shouted, "Help, help me!" But it crushed him in an instant. The players were horrified, whispering, "It's a chimera." With sharp blades, it slammed down onto the ground. A giant chimera growled, and without hesitation, Andres rushed in to attack it. The soldiers behind him, seeing this, anxiously called out, "Lord Andres." He replied, "Let me handle those ogres. The rest is up to you all." At that moment, the giant monster unexpectedly grabbed one of its companions by the neck and swiftly dealt with it. The giant monster used the body of the unfortunate creature to smash into the group of Andres. Furious, he charged forward. "Damn it! Your opponent is me!" He decisively swung his sword at it, but sadly Andres was immediately pushed back. He worriedly wondered what to do now. It had only been a few hours since the battle began. His forces had long reached their limits, but if he fell here, Rifa would be lost. He had to stop them at all costs. Andres firmly declared, "We must hold them back quickly." The body of the unfortunate monster suddenly began to change, gradually disappearing completely. Despite being injured all over, Andres stubbornly shouted, "I must stop them. As long as I'm still alive, you won't set foot in the city." Just as he finished speaking, the giant monster launched another attack. With the resurrection of players in the arena, there was no resurrection system for NPCs related to the main scene, which meant he just finished speaking when the giant monster launched another attack, and the players in the arena realized there was no resurrection system for the NPCs involved in the main scene. The essence of the NPC is no different from reality, Andres thought helplessly. "Your Majesty, please forgive me. This servant must go ahead now." But just then a voice suddenly rang out, "Don't give up so soon." Andres stood there stunned for a moment. He turned to the side, suspiciously noticing Hyun-Yu Tan on his shoulder, who excitedly shouted, "Let's attack, Master." Hyun-Yu rushed in to attack Lord Andres. "Get out of the way. Let me take over the fight now." Just as he finished speaking, a devastating blow was unleashed and the monster was immediately forced into a corner. Hyun-Yu continued to strike the blow, piercing straight through the monster's body, sending it flying into the air. Andres looked up at it, his face showing clear astonishment. Andres' death was one of the predetermined events in this main scene. Hyun-Yu, satisfied, exclaimed, "That cut was deeper than I thought." "It's surprising with such high armor penetration," he said. But now the arena system will have to start writing a new story for the future, which was supposed to be a blank space for Andres, who managed to survive thanks to a daring adventurer. The one who witnessed the full passion of an adventurer, who revered an adventurer, and also saw the birth of a hero who could save an entire empire. Hyun-Yu was momentarily thrilled to the point of trembling. Already leveling up for the second time, how could I miss out on such high-quality monsters? He excitedly shouted, "All the chimeras are mine." Andres, standing by, could only shake his head in disbelief. "Well, as long as we're still alive, that's enough." Suddenly his eyes widened. Andres anxiously reminded Hyun-Yu to be careful. Taking that opportunity, Hyun-Yu quickly dodged, and Andres, horrified, realized the opponent before him was... The old man glared at the two of them, furious. "I never expected to have to show myself like this. You damn dogs of the Emperor, I will burn you all to ashes." Looking at him, Hyun-Yu stammered, awakening attention, forcing a smile. "This seems like it won't be easy." The notification board displayed the remaining time until the engineering team arrived, 01:22:53. This new mission was designed like a tower defense game, and before the engineering team led by LeBron arrived, the players would have to work together to fend off the Imperial forces and protect Rifa. But unexpectedly many players joined, making the game's difficulty no longer suitable. Therefore, the arena system quickly found a countermeasure which was actually quite simple. It was to activate the awakening state of the rebel faction to adjust the balance of power. At that moment, Folion in the air raised his hand and declared, "Those arrogant adventurers, I will send you all to hell." Hyunyu Tan on his shoulder was sweating and suggested, "Sir Andres, please find a place to hide. I'll handle things here." Andres hesitated. "I'm sorry, Hyunyu. With my current state, if I stay on the battlefield, I'll just be a burden to you." As he turned to leave, he made a suggestion. "I have something I want to give you after the battle ends, so come find me." Hearing this, he wondered to himself, could it be a hidden reward as I expected? At the same time, Falion angrily shouted, "You dog of the Emperor!" He threw a blow forward while yelling, "Do you think you can escape my grasp?" Suddenly a sword struck straight into the shield, causing Filion to look over in surprise. Hyunyu below smirked, "You can't do that. I still have to receive my reward from the android." Seeing himself being obstructed by the opponent, he angrily questioned, "Are you the adventurer who killed the little chimera I created for Noji? You want to stop me?" At the same time, he was sweating, wondering why all the dark mages gave such cute names to the chimeras. Next, Filion raised his hand while speaking, and immediately a magic circle appeared from the ground. Following that, skeletal hands reached up to grab Hyunyu's legs. Countless skeletons appeared and clung to him. Tan, seeing this, was horrified and shouted, "Master, there are suddenly skeletons appearing." He was also confused and loudly questioned, "What is this trickery?" Then he quickly jumped away but didn't forget to leave a message. "Survive, so we can meet again." "Master, Hyun. You left behind, couldn't help but be startled. Are you planning to run away alone?" The skeletal hands clung tightly and he looked up sweating. Damn it! He only heard the sound of a massive explosion and rocks and dust flew everywhere. Folion, witnessing this scene, smirked with satisfaction. But then the expression on his face suddenly turned to astonishment. And then Felion loudly questioned, "Who are you?" A man with a shield let out a sigh almost too late. Then that person raised their voice announcing, "Here comes the alley boss." The alley boss was challenging the boss, and others hearing this excitedly chimed in, "Wait, that's the alley boss. This is awesome. We might get on screen too, and there's even a big prize." They quickly rushed over. The alley boss thanked him for sharing this interesting hunting ground, saying, "I'll reward you with gold later." The small prize was sweating, looking confused. "What's going on? These people are gathering." Hyun Yu beside him hesitated as well. Immediately, countless knights surrounded him, protecting him, and they all shouted in unison with determination, "Let's protect the alley boss." Hyun Yu watched this scene, forcing a smile while thinking to himself, "So all the viewers watching my live stream and the players receiving information from me have gathered here." Then Hyun Yu raised his weapon high into the sky and suggested, "Everyone follow me. This is the thrill of the siege battle in the main scene of the arena. It really is an exciting game." Not long after the battle between the players and Falion erupted. Falion couldn't hide his embarrassment, his face twisted in anger as he growled, "Damn those adventurers!" At the same time, Hyun Yu signaled the defense team, "Prepare to defend at 12 o'clock. The attack from Falion slammed into the defense team's shield, and he turned around shouting, "There's an opening." Then Hyun Yu signaled the attack team, "Use your skills now." When they retaliated all at once, he was confused, thinking, "What is this frustration? There are no openings in the adventurer's actions anymore. It's all because of that bastard." He was still passionately commanding, "Prepare to defend again. Anyone out of mana should heal up first." Falion continued his train of thought, realizing that ever since that masked guy started commanding the adventurers, Hyun Yu turned around smiling. It's definitely easier than playing solo. He then raised his arm, filled with magical energy, and clicked his tongue. "I didn't intend to use this power," he shouted angrily, "but if you plan to fight with numbers, I have no choice but to respond similarly." Immediately, a large magic circle appeared beneath their feet, and countless monsters emerged. The small prize, looking bewildered, questioned, "What's happening, Master? Are we in danger?" At the same time, he loudly declared, "This is the elite Ogre Echimera army. I've prepared to fight against the Emperor." He then commanded, "Crush them all." The Ogre Echimera slammed its fists down towards the others, causing them to scream in terror. Hyun Yu watched this scene, sweating, thinking, "We might face a terrible threat." Meanwhile, the system screen lit up. Seeing this, he was momentarily startled, and suddenly Hyun Yu's pupils shrank, as if he had seen something unbelievable. He quickly turned his gaze to observe the situation as the Ogre Echimera charged straight at him. Suddenly, a figure and a horse appeared from afar. That person raised their hand, and then the mysterious figure swung their hand down instantly, unleashing a wave of power that obliterated the skeletons. The beam of light headed towards Falion, who stared in shock, sweating as he exclaimed, "This is absurd." At the same time, the monsters were all wiped out, and the others gasped in unison. "The ogres have disappeared." Hyun Yu sighed in relief. That was close. "I really timed their appearance perfectly," he thought, glancing at the figure in the distance. "Is this the power of the Empire's top knight, Duke LeBron?" At that moment, LeBron signaled to the Knight Squad, instructing, "Take them all down." Upon hearing the command, the Knight Squad charged straight towards the enemy. Falion, with a long gash, lay on the ground, coughing. He was sweating profusely, muttering in frustration, "Damn Imperial soldiers don't think this is over. It's just death for you. But for a dark sorcerer like me, Falion." Suddenly he yelled out, and then Falion angrily shouted, "What are you doing?" "You damn adventurer," Hyun Yu, while stabbing, raised an eyebrow, thinking, "It seems like I should deal one last blow to get an extra reward." After the Knight Squad appeared, everything progressed in a flash. The Night Squad, led by LeBron, wiped out all the rebels in an instant. The first Imperial Night Squad displayed their overwhelming power, and within minutes the Empire's flag was raised. Signifying the end of the battle, the mission code concluded with the victory of the Imperial forces. The system then announced that Hyun Yu had completed the mission to protect the city of Rifa and received a reward for his contribution to the royal family. He found himself sitting cross-legged looking at the item in his hand. Hyun Yu couldn't hide his curiosity about what he was given. Is this all there is? The item in his hand was a half-sword, and the proud voice of Andres echoed in his mind. I just see myself sitting cross-legged while glancing at the item in my hand. Hyun couldn't hide his curiosity about what he said was just this. The thing in my hand is a dagger, and Andres' proud voice echoes in my mind. This is what we found while wandering around the vast land when we were young. Although it looks like a broken sword, the dwarves say this is its original form. Hyun Yu frowned, looking displeased. I find you more narrow-minded than I thought, but hey, comforting yourself is fine too. I've leveled up a lot at once, so that's good enough for me. At that moment, a voice came from behind him. Hyun Yu, so you're here. He saw the person in front of him and called out LeBron, to which LeBron smiled and said, I've heard about your positivity. No wonder you're recognized as an adventurer. I'm sure the king will be very pleased. Hearing that, Hyun Yu replied, I just do what I need to do. LeBron sat down next to him and announced, I heard they've taken down the Dark Sorcerer in the south. It seems like an adventurer, a monk or something, has been very active over there. Hearing this, he was startled, thinking to himself, is that my brother from the New World? Looks like they've succeeded over there too. Then he wondered, but why are you looking for me? He raised his hand to his mouth and coughed a few times, then said, I have a proposal for you, which is why I came here. Hyun Yu couldn't hide his curiosity and asked, a proposal?